and welcome everyone to Land Beyond the Mist. We are in our second session here of the reboot. Excited to see some familiar faces returning for another season. Let us just jump into play here since we're already kind of into the evening here on Saturday. I know we have some interesting time zones going on as well. Let's begin as we always do by just going around the table and introducing the characters and players that have decided to join us today. I'm just going to go in order of the cams that I see in my Discord call. So first up, Zymox, welcome back to Land Beyond the Mist. Why don't you introduce us to the character you've brought today?
Drory is a 4-foot, 8-inch tall dwarf. Fairly tall for a dwarf and leans about 132 pounds. He's kind of young, too. Other dwarves would realize that, but most people wouldn't. He does have the beard. Mm-hmm. Sailor by trade. Been sailing for like 9 years now. Kind of ran away from home, and he's halfway decent out here, and wants to try his hand going inland and maybe finding his way back to the mountains. So.
Ooh, excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing your sailor make his way here in the Shrouded Coast. Should be a good time. Excellent. That will bring us over to Horo. Welcome back. Is it early or late for you? I can never tell.
I mean, it's 2 a.m., so people are waking up, so I'm going to bed, so
okay,
it depends.
It's both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Welcome back to Land Beyond the Mist. Why don't you introduce your character to us?
Sure, so I'll be playing Vlad, the most original class and race imaginable. So it's a human fighter. I'm going to be focusing mostly on the backline. I'm going to be an archer, and I look forward to developing my character more in the mists, but for the time being, he's looking to become a great fighter, a great warrior of the mist, essentially.
Oh, excellent. Well, the frontier is a great place to prove yourself. I look forward to seeing what becomes of Vlad. Perhaps he'll find some bungee gum. Oh, that's the wrong anime. Shit. Never mind. I don't watch One Piece. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Ali, welcome back to Land Beyond the Mist. Good to have you as always. Why don't you give us an introduction to who you've brought to the table today?
Katria claims to be an emissary from a distant city. So she's come to Rhymeview some years back, I think, and sort of set up, and I'm pretty sure people would be quite confused as to why this sort of aristocratic-looking woman is going out on odd ventures. But she's got grey, silvery hair that's quite odd, and she wears a dark dress and a dove grey coat over it, and she's got a whole bunch of golden jewelry on that's all inscribed with patterns of constellations and stars and other celestial phenomenon.
All right. Well, excellent. I'm interested to see you emissary. Sure, there are many people out here. I'm sure it would be very interesting. I don't know, negotiations for you to have. Sounds good. Yep. Thank you for coming back. Last but not least, Seam. Just kidding. Palladian. Good to have you back as always. Why don't you introduce your character that you brought Beyond the Mist?
Thanks. So I'm going to play that game again, but no. Hey guys, I am Palladian. I'll be playing Ethan today, a monk here to clean up these lands with his mighty broom.
Ooh, with a broom, you said?
You gotta do it with style,
I have heard of many a monk weapon. I have not heard of the mighty broom. Okay. I'm excited for broom. Excellent. Mr. Ethan, you and your mighty broom ended up posting the job that you are doing here today. So tell me, what is it that drew you to the job, and how did you wrangle up these strange characters to join you in your journey?
These travelers, these traders, they're clueless. They have no idea what's going on. They purport to work with and trade with the Fae, and yet I caught them in their own words 9 times out of 10 when speaking to them. And I was looking for some companions with style. Me being the picture of elegance and fashion demands only the finest of adventurers with me. And what is finer than a celestial emissary, a beardless dwarf, and a man with the greatest nose I've ever yet seen?
We're really building up this token reveal. Excellent. So, you round up your strange companions just on pure style alone. You find yourselves in a kind of busy day in the city of Rhymeview. The streets are full and bustling. You can smell the kind of sweet and savory food kind of in the open air agoras around town. The spring solstice is here today, and it is a day of celebration. Much of the work in the docks and around the fields has been shut down, and the city itself is kind of alive. But amongst the hustle and bustle, work must go on as well. So the docks still ring occasionally, the bells go, and amidst the smells and sounds of celebration, there is, of course, the hustle and bustle of everyday life mixed in. So, how will the four of you go about finishing up or preparing for your quest before leaving town?
Ethan, at least, would like to talk with the traders themselves to learn more of what the proposed deal is, as well as what knowledge they've gleaned about the Fae in these areas, as to ensure they prepared an appropriate gift to ensure friendly negotiations.
Excellent. You go to hunt down the merchant who has posted this particular quest, which you find is a younger fellow than you probably expect. A halfling of kind of taller than expected stature, though still shorter than most of the residents of Rhymeview. They are slender and almost gaunt in a small way, and they have an odd kind of cadence to the way they speak. You can pick them out almost immediately. They see you coming back with their note. Welcome. It is always great to see you again, friends. Are we ready to prepare? Or are we ready to take off for the long trek?
Oh, a few questions, my good man.
Of course.
Before we depart upon glorious conquest and business. What is, you said mention of trade. What exactly are we trading?
Perfect. We are trading the best spices you have ever seen. And he reveals a kind of hanging bead curtain from behind him. He kind of swings it open. You can see in the kind of shop that he owns, there are just kind of bags that are being prepared by his laborers, filled with saffron and jasmine and very expensive spices. The air kind of wafts out and it overwhelms even the kind of tasty smells of the food cooking, almost to the point of kind of choking before he lets the bead curtain come back down. He says, "These are from across the sea. I'm certain they've never seen anything like it."
Lovely. And what exactly have you learned of the Fae in the Fae courts of this area?
Oh, very little. Very little.
Oh.
I do know that they are very wealthy. He pulls out a long bar of gold, about a foot across, thick, and cut as if it had been forged into a bar. He says, "A friend of mine came back with a whole bushel of these from them. They seem to crave all kinds of deals. I'm excited."
Ooh, very nice. Well, what gift have you prepared for them to ensure we get these negotiations off to a pleasant start?
I am a man of business. I do not gift. I trade.
So, calm now. Even you, a man of your great import, has to know, with dealing with such beings of great power and great, egos, to say the least, you have to soften them up a bit, allow them to get in a place where they want you.
You have too high an opinion of these people. I know plenty enough. These Fae are just like us. They put their trousers on one leg at a time.
Oh.
This is just him there, I assume.
Oh yes, it's just me.
Oh,
Well, and you.
Oh,
And my laborers. He like reveals them again, shutting his bead curtain.
Oh.
how often do you go out to the Fae?
This would be my first time.
And your friend came back alive?
Oh yes, with gold.
Oh, maybe we can
He
meet
shows
him
his
and
bar
see what
again,
he
like
thinks of them.
flourishing it.
We can go talk to him real quick. I assume I already have a mule. If not, I'll pick one up here. Just so.
If you bought one in character creation, it is yours. You have it. It is part of your character.
Yeah.
Perhaps you brought it with you across the ocean, sailor dwarf. A sailor dwarf and his prize mule.
Drory and Dolly, by the way. Drory and my mule's Dolly. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Good. We're not quite prepared yet. Getting my wagon nice and stuffed.
Well, I turn to my party members here. I'm gonna go make a few quick purchases. If you guys would be willing to talk to his associate, friend.
Hey, if we could go hunt down the friend, I would like to do that.
Okay.
Bring everyone with me.
Go ahead and give me an investigation charisma roll to try to hunt down this merchant whose name you have not gotten.
Investigation I'm not trained in, so it's a straight charisma roll, basically.
Drory, you ask around, and unfortunately, it seems that this merchant is not around. Either they have... You get conflicting stories, either that they have sailed to the other side of the Shrouded Coast on some kind of business mission, or that you just missed them and they're, out of town.
Were they
giving some
acting
other-
strange before they left?
Oh, no. Everyone assures you they're just as normal as can be, but
Thank you,
they're
thank
just
you.
not around.
I appreciate it.
Our deepest thanks.
I'm sorry?
Oh, Kasia would just be like, our deepest thanks to the people who were investigating.
You get some the level of courtesy that you display is like above and beyond kind of the denizens of Rhymeview. They like it. They're like, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
I guess we'll, if we can't find him, I don't have enough money to grease people's palms, or and if it even would help, so.
As well. Kateria, can I, would you be able to spare a moment to help me with something?
Oh, of course. Are you looking for a gift for the mercurial splendor of the Fae?
I knew I liked you for a reason. Yes, I was wondering if you could help me in consulting local legend knowledge you may have procured yourself about what an appropriate gift would be for the Fae court we're about to interact with.
I'd be glad to do my best. I can't say I'm very familiar with the Fae themselves. There aren't a lot of trees or woods where I'm from, but I guess I know what sort of gifts I would normally present to a court, so I shall do what I can. Greg, may I roll perhaps Arcana?
So you're just trying to spout some lore on the Fae here? Why don't you just tell me what you know about the Fae?
They come from another plane. I know that it'll be difficult to tell because, as the merchant showed, they probably have things that we value in high quantities. Like, gold doesn't seem like it'd be worth much to them. I've heard that they're very changeable in their moods. They're fond of amusement, but I'm not sure what amusement we can offer that won't be detrimental to our own well-being. This is tricky. Some sort of beautiful natural phenomenon would probably be best, but how can we compete with what they have themselves?
I've heard
a
they
natural
are...
phenomenon would be best, perhaps. Kateria, why don't you, or Katria, or I'm bad at pronouncing things. Katria.
Katria, yeah.
Katria Desane.
Why don't you give me a you suggested Arcana. I think this is a history check. Give me just a history check on the Fae here. Okay.
Oh,
Katria
no.
believes that the Fae would like a naturally beautiful phenomenon and says
Okay.
this to you. Um, It may or may not be true.
I had heard that the Fae have a great love of music and wine, and that often that they would waylay and capture like wandering musicians to play in their courts for a time before being pushed out of portal at some point, and it could be days, it could be years. So perhaps something of music.
I've never heard of this, but if you want wine, there's wine at my house.
Oh. Oh, no, no, perhaps another time. But no. Um,
I'll take a drink.
I think yes, I think that's the way. I think music will tame the wicked Fey heart. And Greg, I would like to find something on the lines of like maybe a music box.
Okay. You search around the mini markets for music box. You're in luck. This is a day of celebration, and many trinkets and small kind of prizes are readily available around the kind of dock area before the true workers of the docks, but near the water's edge where you can view it, have a nice glass of wine and some food. You you can find a small music box. The After a little bit of bartering, they will sell it to you for 5 GP.
Fantastic. Yes, I will do such a thing. And then with that, I believe, unless the rest of you have anything, we are prepared.
All right.
And we don't buy the rations right now, right?
No, we'll have you buy those as the travel phase begins. Although
I collected
if you
all the money I need from everybody, so I get 6, I get 10, and then I get the whole 25, and I'm like, thank you so much, my lady. I appreciate you funding us.
Well, it's the least I can do. I have quite the interest in seeing that our venture goes well today. Over the coming days, I suppose. I haven't been away from home for quite that long in quite a while.
Perhaps we pay everybody back what they put in, minus Dolly, I guess, and out of the first whatever we get, and then we split everything even.
Sounds fine to me.
Very good.
Just,
Of course.
all right.
I find it very.
So
And Vlad
music
is sizing
box has
up
been
his.
purchased,
Ooh, sorry.
and I'm all right. What are you saying, Mr. Vlad?
Oh, sorry, it's because of the delay, because of different time, like across the world essentially.
Sure, yeah, fair
Vlad was
enough.
just sizing up his allies, his new companions, and he decides to walk by the donkey once we decide to venture out eventually.
Very good. Music box has been purchased. You have negotiated or at least talked with the merchant that you are escorting out. Are you ready to travel? Or is there more that you'd like to do before heading out?
I'll tell the merchant, your friend is not in town, right? Do you know what happened to him?
Oh, can't say I do.
Did he go back out there?
Very possible. You gotta always be hustling,
Already earned a bushel of
I'll
gold.
take that under advisement. This is my first expedition, just like you said. It's first for you, so hey, let's hustle, I guess, then, huh?
That's the spirit. All right. The 4 of you pack up the rest of the spices with the laborers, get them in a nice long covered wagon, and you will begin trekking out along the long shrouded coast. Up the travel itself is going to take a few days, as the wagon itself is not capable of going anything other than at a caravanning pace. So. You will be traveling along the Shrouded Coast from the site of Rhymeview here up past Heaven's Pillar and into the forest to the north of it as well. You are going to be traveling for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 days at the minimum. The merchant is very clear to point out that he would like very much to get there before the 5th day after the solstice day, as the Fae themselves will no longer be there for him to meet, according to the information that he has. So, as we get prepared for you to make this journey across the lands here, what I will need from you is to divvy yourselves up into the 4 roles of travel. This is the first time that you guys have dealt with these, so I'm going to kind of slow it down and talk you through it if we need. You will be caravanning. You'll be moving 3 hexes per day just by the nature of your journey. You're traveling with this merchant and his wagon and his laborers as they go across the land. There are 4 roles for travel. There is the provisioner, who will determine how we track food and water. It sounds like you have a plan for that. There is the scout, whose job is to keep you on track and to avoid pitfalls or delays along the route. There's the guide, who will make sure that the travel goes smoothly. It is not overly tiring, difficult to you all. And the lookout, who will make sure that you do not have any dangerous creatures or bandits along the way surprise you. So, who will be doing each of these things for us?
Well, I believe Vlad is going to be the guide. I'll be in front, guiding the caravan, essentially.
Excellent.
Provisioner.
Alrighty, Drory.
Ethan shall ensure that the party comes across no quarrels as we make our way to the Fae.
I'm holding you to that.
So you are a lookout, Ethan.
Lookout, yes.
Yes, and that means Katria shall be scouting for us. Excellent. So you'll be heading into the forest north of the Heaven's Pillar, a minimum of 4 days' journey via the caravan that you are taking. So before you leave town, Provisioner, Mr. Drory, please tell us, how are you keeping track of how are you taking care of the party's food and water and resources along the way?
Essentially, Dolly's going to be carrying everything, including her own food and water.
Okay.
We need to spend 49.5 gold pieces to get 11 days. Each day costs us 4.5 gold.
Okay.
So 10 days is easily 45, and then we just add 1 more day for the 11th day.
Okay,
so
perfect. You spend some time negotiating, getting yourself some dried meats, nuts filled up with lots of water. You start hauling it on top of the donkey. Its legs start doing that thing where they look like they're going to buckle for a half second. And you load up, ready to go. Are you encumbered, and are any of you encumbered after the pack rat buys all of this water and food to be carried around all over the place?
If you're past the first increment, you're encumbered, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we were encumbered. We've been encumbered for a bit.
Okay.
That's why I was hoping we could
mess up our time quite a bit.
Does that lower the caravanning from 3 hexes to 2?
Yes, indeed, it does.
So that's not super functional. So real quick, how much weight can we afford to have between the characters? Because we cannot afford to do that.
So we have to get her under 140 pounds.
What is she at?
418.
Jeez.
Which she can handle 420 right before the final increment.
So I just want to double check about the mule, because the mule base speed is a bit higher. With the base encumbrance, it evens out, or is this not a...
If you are encumbered in any way, you will lose a hex in your day's travel.
I believe all of us are encumbered.
So I believe we have to be encumbered for the beginning of the journey. Otherwise, we're not just going to be able to carry the food we need and the water.
Jory, would you like me to buy you another mule?
I have not done any calculations for how much water and food we'd have to carry more. It would be an extra 100 pounds for 10 days for an extra mule, so it'll only have 40 more. It gets us only a little bit of extra room, and then we have all these extra mounts to worry about, or beasts.
Yeah, Ethan now has 9 gold.
If we're under 280, I
Are
don't even.
you
We're still
considering the
encumbered,
fact
right?
that it's a beast of burden?
So it's. Wait, did I not? I thought I did my math correctly. So it should be 280, 420, and then the final category, right? No,
Does it
because
go
it's
up
times
by-
5. It's times 5 for the first category. So if you times it by 10, then that's 140. Strength of 14. Yeah, I think my calculations are correct.
Yeah. 140 before the first level of encumbrance for a mule.
And it's 38 pounds a day. Gets us what is that? Not even 4 days is 160 pounds. That's it's 8 pounds shy of 160. It's 152 pounds, right? So 152 pounds is already 12 pounds. So essentially, a mule can only carry 3 point something days of rations before it's encumbered. The first level of encumbrance.
Perhaps we could ask our merchant if he'd be willing to take us by Timbervale. It's a slightly longer route, but we'd be able to resupply halfway through.
If we buy a wagon, doesn't that multiply what it can carry by 5? And he has a wagon anyway, right? Or like some kind of a cart?
Very sorry. My wagon is very full up with all of my trade goods. I could not
How much
put
is a wagon?
anything more on that.
I think a cart should hold what we have. I think a cart is cheaper.
How much is it?
I didn't look
I
it
got
up.
it. I got it.
Cart
I
is
got it right
15
here.
gold, and the wagon is 35.
Fantastic. Who has 6 gold?
Alright, buddy.
Who has any gold
I
whatsoever?
have 10.
You have 10? Fantastic. I need 6 of it, please.
Absolutely. I can.
Fantastic.
And so I think that gets the 140 to be multiplied times 5, which
Yeah,
keeps the 418 pounds.
Well under, it's 700 pounds at that point, so we're good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, I guess, right.
Fantastic.
I need to write that down somewhere to do the actual.
We are good to go. No encumbrance.
He has a cart. We have a cart. I guess it makes sense as long as we stay on the road with the cart. Yay.
All right, you, Mr. Packrat, buy a cart, load it to the gills after your mule almost gives out on the first few steps of the road, and you prepare for a long and arduous journey. Excellent. As the 4 of you are preparing to step out, and the provisioner has loaded you to the gills, it is in fact Drori. A man, like, kind of shuffles into you almost seemingly by mistake as you are passing in the streets after having loaded up a last bit of water onto the back of the cart.
I have sleight of hand. I'm a rogue. I'll try to pickpocket him in reverse.
Oh, absolutely. Give me the pickpocket check here with your sleight of hand dexterity.
Oh, there it is. 17.
Absolutely. You reach into his pocket and you pluck out a roll of parchment. As you reverse pickpocket him, your hand is full with a nice, good-sized piece of paper. You put it behind your back really quick. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to take it. And he walks away. Drory, as you unfurl this roll of paper, you can see plainly writ in Thieves' Cant a missive directed to you and the rest of the party. It names you each and says, I am to understand that you are guiding a young man out to meet the Fae. It would be quite rewarding should he befall some sort of accident and not make it there.
Oh.
I look around to see, trying to be casual enough, but I make a perception check around and see if I see anybody watching me.
You look around as best you can, looking for someone to watch you. You could see the back of the head of the man who bumped into you, just walking off down the street. But
memorize everything I can about him.
Sure, absolutely. He's very nondescript, wearing a plain kind of gray surcoat.
I don't see his hair color.
He's a nice little hood on top of the coat, kind of over his shoulders and over the top. And not uncommon fashion for the springtime of this year, as it begins to be quite drizzly around Rhymeview. Today happens to be quite clear, but still the hood is at least fashionable. But he is very kind of nondescript beyond that, kind of gray surcoat, gray hood up. You got a brief glimpse of his face when he apologized to you as you went by. It seemed to be a human with dark black hair and a full goatee.
All right. Typical sleazeball. This Drory strokes his little goatee. No, I don't know. He has a full beard. And mustache. All right. I'm going to continue on and think about this message and.
Okay.
I'm guessing Drory doesn't
pocket
share
the
any
message
information
and
with the
continue
party.
to think about it. So the rest of you set off for your journey. The wagon creaking behind the straining mule. As you go, the forest around you is difficult going, both on the merchant's wagon and your own. But you quickly find your way through the worst of it, bouncing along behind the mule and behind the draft horse. A few laborers making sure things don't fall off of the very loaded down caravan that your merchant friend has. So, as the journey progresses, what I would like is for our scout to tell us your efforts to scout the terrain. Please, Katria, describe your efforts to scout the terrain and how you keep your party moving in the best route, in this kind of unknown weather and location, and making sure you don't lose any time along the way.
I think it's very funny that Saria's whole thing was being a diviner, and when she got to divine, she rolled a 1. And Katria's meant to be a diplomat, she gets to try to pick out a gift. What? So, I don't think... Katria, I think, is mainly basing her scouting off of the sky. Her religion... the city she's from is a full-on ecclesiarchy. She's very religious, and it's a very celestial religion, so I think part of it is blind faith. Maybe the party doesn't realize when, oh, can you find the way for us? And she's like, of course, I will guide us. And they perhaps didn't realize that, oh, we're letting a crazy cultist look at the sky and follow her whims here and go marching off in the direction that feels right. So part of it's that, but I also think in what she's learned and in what's been passed down to her, there's a lot of practical element of she can probably recognize constellations and navigate that way pretty well. Mm-hmm. She can probably recognize, oh, there's that odd sort of color to the sky, that means rain's coming. I think there are some sort of phenomenon she can take from augury and sort of apply to navigation, maybe the movements of birds. So I think there's a lot of things like that she can draw on, but I don't think she can tell you anything about the plans.
Absolutely, Katria, you look at the shapes of the clouds, the movement of the flights of the birds, you augur exactly the path that you need to go. This sounds to me, you described it as a crazy occultist, and so this sounds to me like an Arcana check. I want you to make an Arcana plus your spellcasting modifier for whatever class you are. So if you're a wizard, it would be int, sorcerer, it would be charisma, etc. The base DC is going to be 12, but you are going through a hostile factions controlled area, so it'll be a DC 15, but you are also caravanning, so you'll add +5 to your roll.
So it is +4 from my charisma, +2 from proficiency in Arcana, and +5 from caravanning for +11?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
That was... Listen.
There you go. Either a 23 or a 27 are both successes. Katria, please take for me inspiration. Mark that down as you successfully guide your party through the flight of the birds and the shapes of the clouds, away from dangerous rock slides and pitfalls and whatever else may have waylaid you and cost your caravans time. You get them across the lands quite easily. Excellent. Perfect. So that is how you are scouting across the land. As Katria is reading the clouds and telling you, no, hold on, we need to go this way. The bird flight tells me so. The guide is making sure that she doesn't exhaust you, going back and forth across this land over much, making sure that the dangers and labors of the journey are not overmuch. So, I'm gonna need Vlad to describe to me how you avoid or stave off the dangers and labors of the journey, keeping your party nice and hale and hearty.
Yeah, so Vlad definitely noticed that Katria, she's charismatic. She likes to talk to people. She's like a diplomat, like she's claiming to be one. And essentially, like, if Vlad sees, like, oh, there's some scratches on a tree somewhere here, or maybe there's a deer on the side, and he's just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna suggest we maybe go a different way a bit, or maybe we just don't go near those little claw marks, on the tree there. Maybe it would be better to go to the side a little bit. And he's just, like, making sure to, keep her in check a little bit as well.
All right.
I know the bird flew this way, but no, we cannot go directly over that canyon.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. You avoid walking through some kind of nasty, itchy bush and avoid going too far over a canyon. Excellent. Go ahead. This sounds like a pretty basic check to me. Go ahead and make me a survival wisdom check. Your DC is going to be 18, 15 for base plus 3, but you will also have a plus 5 for your caravanning.
So that's a 13 then, because...
Yeah, it is a 13. Unfortunately, you fail, good sir. Excellent. So the guide, unfortunately... He's like giving you directions that are opposite of your scout, and it ends up becoming a little bit more grueling than you expect. He's giving you these extra directions the caravan has to take even longer. The mule gets tired, your feet start getting sore. Everyone, please take for me 1 level of exhaustion for your journey. Excellent.
Is there a place to mark that on our character sheets?
There may be. I'm not super familiar with the Roll20 character sheets. Let's take a look.
Sorry.
It might be in one of the settings that we can activate on the sheet.
Gear
There's a
button
lot
on
of
the top right,
hidden ones.
and then it's.
Yeah, so if you click on the gear thing on the bottom right, next to general options, there's show exhaustion tracking. You click that on off, and it shows
okay, on there it is.
All right.
We don't want to have to do that. No, I'm kidding. Done.
With that, we come to the lookout. Ethan, you are trying to make sure that terrible creatures or other nasty, people out here away from the cities themselves don't ambush your party. Please describe for me how you are best keeping an eye out for nasties that might want to fight you and your party along the way.
Ethan is walking about up and down the length of the caravan the entire way, cleaning, giving fashion advice, offering, are you sure you don't want a haircut? Like, here, let me just... A little trim up here and there, making the
that's really what
look just sparkle. As such, as I'm watching, I get a loose patrol going back and forth, and get a nice view. I think at one point, I take a glance towards the wood as I'm braiding the donkey's hair to make it look just a little bit better, and I see if I notice any dangers approaching.
All right. You get a nice chatty patrol going around the various caravans. A lot of the laborers are really happy to have somebody to braid their hair for them. That's not something they get every time they get out. But as you're braiding some hair, go ahead and give me a perception check. Perception wisdom is going to be what we have. Your DC will be 15, but you will get the +5 from caravanning.
Excellent. Here we are. Oh, no,
excellent. You get such a good chatty circle going that you see most things. And in fact, on the second day of your journey, after the first one was a bit bumpy, everyone's tired and exhausted and they're not feeling particularly well. You come across what do you come across? Ethan, you're braiding one of the laborers' hair, you're chatting, you're looking out, and through the trees of the forest, you find yourself looking at a gravestone.
Oh.
It takes you a moment to realize that that's exactly what it is, but near some trees and a kind of rocky boulder, there is a slightly misshapen stone, and as you look at it, it is in fact carved to look like a gravestone. It has been worn down over time and like kind of lost some of its shape, but as you look, there's also some writing that you can't quite make out on it from here. It seems as if it's been engraved into the edges of it.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry, Naru here. I'll be right back to finish. Give me just a moment. Hey, Katra here, join me for a moment, would you, my dear?
Oh, of course. And Katri is just kind of absent-mindedly looking at her little braid and is like, oh yeah, I'm coming. And she's very down with Ethan's whole fashion. Don't criticize her. She is an obstinate... She will be mad, but she's very down with it.
How many wagons does the wagon train have?
2. Yours and the merchants.
Okay. Is it a covered wagon?
It has like the ability to be covered. There's like hitching posts where they can roll a tarp up over the top if it rains, but it's mostly just like an open wagon that's loaded up with bags and barrels of spices and their like wares, along with food and feed for the laborers and the draft horse.
Katya will kneel down next to the inscriptions and take a look. She'll summon up a little mote of starlight around her hand.
You will notice that the inscriptions are in a kind of old-timey language, but it seems to be like reminiscent of Common. It is close enough to Common, like reading Old English, like reading Shakespeare or like untransliterated Edgar Allan Poe. As you observe the kind of slanted and faded writing on it, it says, "I will be waiting for you on the other side."
Oh. I will convey what it says to my companions and be like, well, it seems we've got someone awaiting us.
I'll go and look at the other side of the gravestone, and I sit down.
You walk to the other side of the gravestone, and sure enough, much to your expectation, there is a small indenture in the stone. It looks to be about as round as the like a coin or perhaps probably like a gold or silver coin, and it seems to be bored deep into the stone itself. You look in, it's kind of just like a dark hole into the back of the gravestone. Otherwise, it is unmarked or unadorned.
Well, as it turns out, my broom is about as thick as a silver coin, so I take it.
That's a very thin broom to beat people with.
How big are you? How big are you expecting a silver coin to be? I was thinking like a little bigger than like $50 maybe. Oh, tiny little thing.
Like okay, if you took your
a dime?
Your middle finger and made a nice circle with your thumb. Are my brooms just real thick? Am I using like industrial brooms or something?
Those are pretty thick brooms.
That's a pretty thick broom, yeah.
Yeah, that's like staff thickness. Like you could really mess someone up with that thing. You know?
That's like a baseball bat size, honestly.
Okay, so you're gonna stick your broom in there. All right. You shove your broom in there. It slides in for about 1/4 of an inch, and then you feel it kind of like catch on something, as if it's getting stomped.
Okay. I pull out my broom.
Uh-huh.
and
As
I
you
stick
pull
my
out your
finger-
broom, you can look on the edge of it. It looks like a groove or a like a scratch on the wood has formed, where it's like cut in. It looks almost like what would be describing it? It looks almost like sequential, like metal rods, almost
So
of
it's a
different
lock.
lengths.
So it's a lock, you're saying?
Perhaps.
I call over the one and only dwarf we have in our party and say, "My good sir, you're a man of stone. You're a man of great dexterity and nimbleness. May I
Well, Droy
require
didn't
your
know what
aid?"
was going on. He was like investigating the other guy's wagon as much as he could, looking if there's a good hiding spot in there so he can ambush somebody with his bow. When all of a sudden, like, well, I have a very rudimentary thieves kit. I don't think I could afford anything, so basically, I just have it called makeshift thieves tools. I didn't. It's probably like a few pieces of metal I got from some blacksmith. And I don't know if there's wire in this world or what it would be, but I only have a couple like meager things that are probably more of a minus to the roll, really. But I could go ahead and try. I don't know. It's
You
up
didn't
to.
get that as part of your kit?
I took starting money instead and rolled.
Oh,
And then I never bought one because I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford 25 gold pieces. You kidding me? I want armor instead of thieves tools. So there you go. And if I get up in the ranking with the thieves guild, then I get access to that kind of stuff. So
Katria, what's up?
But anyway, Jory can. I don't know. Is it okay if I have the makeshift? I have it written down, but I don't know what would really be in it. Greg, so it might not even be feasible to
think for a second, and why don't you tell me how you would make makeshift thieves tools? And while you do that, Katria has been raising her hand very politely. Why don't you jump in here and tell us what's going on?
I just wanted to, in case it becomes relevant, say that after she translated it, her mind never went to, oh, there's something on the back. It was a ghostly message from beyond, and she has knelt in front of it and she doesn't have the material components to perform a proper ceremony, but with Ritual Caster I took the ceremony spell, so I think she's like chanting out her ritual of funerary rites over the grave and sort of just trying to sort of lay them to rest and give them the blessing of her own stars in addition to whoever buried them.
Absolutely. Yeah. You start doing that. As this kind of investigation of the gravestone is going on, the merchant is getting a little frustrated. We should be moving on. Yes, maybe. Fane.
has it been more than 5 minutes?
As he's saying that, what is your makeshift thieves tools, Drory?
So I've probably stolen whatever scraps I could, or maybe even used persuasion and bartered for like little trinkets that I found as a sailor. Like I have a shark's tooth necklace. I probably found other little bits and bobs, and I might have traded scrap, like from a blacksmith. And I'm imagining like a piece of bar stock that was really like part of it broke off, and he's just looking for 3 or 4 pieces of scrap that he could maybe use. Like one is like a longer piece, and one is probably really skinny but not very long, and it's not the right size, so it's just makeshift. And maybe he could use it to pry a window open. Is the best he could really do.
So you've got like shark teeth, hard metal scrap, odds and ends that you've just kind of people have thrown away or that you've kind of taken from their pocket or whatever. Okay. I think that you can give it an attempt with that, but I'm gonna have you make a thieves tools dexterity roll at disadvantage. Yes, Ethan.
Ethan has a comb.
Okay.
Would the bits of a comb with their uniform length across the board and very short but long nature not allow with a little bit of time if I'm willing to sacrifice the greatest and most precious item on this caravan allow for an appropriate check?
No. I think that the comb would much the same be makeshift thieves tools as the kind of odds and ends. All right,
I lose part of my
there.
piece.
Yeah, you put some metal in there. You get your kind of fish hook. You start working on it. You're like, oh, I can feel the mechanism. I think I've got. You hear a click as you kind of pull up on it, expecting to have unlocked it. But as soon as this kind of very mechanical click sound happens, the entire like area around the gravestone just starts unleashing fumes into the air, noxious and like foul smelling. They immediately engulf you. You start
I would dive out of the way. I'm fairly
sure.
dexterous,
Everyone, make me Constitution saving throws, please. Your saving throws are not at disadvantage, by the way.
Is it
you only
poison?
have one level of exhaustion. Yes, you can have an advantage, I believe, because you are a dwarf.
I said that Katria was kneeling, praying over it, so should she take disadvantage because she was kneeling right in front of the thing?
If you would like to take disadvantage, feel free.
Oh god, everyone's failing.
I did so bad.
I think we're gonna have to go to Timbervale. Yep.
Well, I failed anyway.
No, it'll be
Alrighty.
fine.
So, everyone underneath a DC of 12, please take for me 1 wound.
I'm gonna write that in my temporary hit points area as
Do we roll that now, or what is
Yes,
the process?
you can. So, for those who don't know, a wound represents
Roll a hit
one
die.
of your class's hit dice. You will either roll the hit die or take the average, your choice, and reduce your maximum hit points by that amount until such time as you can recover the wound.
Does it get the bonus of the con on it?
It does not get the bonus of the con; it's just the die.
So what if you roll and you roll essentially your HP? Are you like
You
down,
cannot
or-
go lower than 1.
Yeah,
Must
we need
have
to go to
1
Timbervale.
max HP.
So I go down 8 hit points. Damn.
We need to go to Timbervale.
The merchant is coughing at this point, and his laborers are like waving this away from like the
Oh, they were that close to
the
it too? I
gas is
thought
like
we were further
spread
away
out
from it.
far enough that it's like
Shit.
covering them a little bit too. They're like, is it time to move on now? We're wasting far too much time.
We'll be fine. Let's keep going. Let's push on.
My good
Katria
sir,
was-
I am astounded. I don't think a man such as yourself would be one to take opportunities at any given chance. And this is nothing but an
can't
opportunity.
Trade with the dead.
But you
Well, this is
can
off to a
take their
great
stuff.
start. Oh,
I'm
man.
no grave robber or thief. This, he points to like all the hacking and stuff, is the result of that kind of chicanery. I am a traitor. Now, let's go make a deal. Okay?
I
I
think
pull out a shovel.
I think Katria sort of arches one eyebrow and is just like, were you? What did you do? Why am I in a poison cloud?
The scroll in my pocket feels heavier as I look around at Katria with her arms out and everybody in the group.
And yes, I'll begin digging right around, like right below where the indentation is.
Oh, you want to dig there at the
You
thing?
This is a grave.
start
A
digging.
grave.
Yeah, you dig and dig.
I think Katria probably tries to interpose herself. And
Uh-huh.
like, you can't.
Like, go,
This is
go,
something very-
go. I'll be fine. Go. Get
getting
like a
muddled
little
here.
downwind. It'll be
We'll-
fine.
We'll go up a little bit, and I'll. This shouldn't take too much longer. I tell the trader.
The
We'll still-
custom.
Have
Of
you
this land.
tried to dig a grave? I have had the misfortune of bearing a companion. This will take far too long. Oh, I should have vetted more carefully.
Oh no! This kind of
I'll grade
thing.
your hair tonight. It'll be fine.
This kind of thing
Feeling
tends to
great
happen.
for the
a lot.
fae.
Ethan,
I-
you dig straight down, I assume. Like, you're trying to find what's down there.
Mhm.
You're digging behind the grave, you said?
I'm digging like around the grave. Like I'm trying to do like
digging around
it's-
it in like a circle?
Yeah.
Okay. After a couple of minutes of digging in front of it, you can find the depth of the gravesite itself. Sure enough, in front of the grave, there is a small wooden like box. about coffin head shaped. You haven't dug like the whole length of it, but it appears at like, you know, as you're digging in that circle, you see the front kind of part of it. You hit it. It's wood. It is kind of normal. It's old and definitely kind of rotting a little bit. But there appears to be a wooden coffin there. As you dig around the rest of this grave, it seems that behind it, and in the kind of shallow earth, the stone itself seems to like settle down, and like there is a like almost boulder would be maybe the best way to describe it underneath like the headstone itself, extending like kind of around and behind where the body is laid to rest.
Okay, so the thing is underneath the coffin, is what I'm hearing. So I kind of want to... Yeah, I think that's the move. I want to dig like to the side. I want to get to like where the edge of the coffin is, and like dig it down like next to it. So I either hit boulder or I find the thing I'm looking for. I don't want to like excavate the entire coffin.
How long have we been at this right now?
It probably took about 5 to 10 minutes to dig a little half circle and find this. To like excavate it probably would take
What time of day is
a
it?
long time. Almost noon.
Okay.
Let him waste an hour, I guess.
Take your lunch break. I will sit on the cart later to make it up for myself, and then I can like I don't want to excavate the entire coffin. I just want to like I already found where the head is. I want to get to the edge of that and dig like to the side and like underneath, if that makes any sense.
You want to dig under the coffin.
Like where the head is, I want to get to where the edge of the coffin is and meets like soil. I want to dig like down further there, and then just using that little indentation down, dig out underneath the coffin to see if there's something below it.
You dig underneath just as you described. It takes you a fair bit of time. The sweat like kneads on your brow. It's exhausting work, especially having already like felt the like journey itself kind of wearing on you to this point. As you dig underneath the coffin, you're careful not to let it like cave in around you, but you excavate a fair amount of dirt. Like it's piling up behind you. The merchant's kind of like peering down, like, what are you looking for? And you do not find anything of value underneath the wood of the coffin. You can find, like, you can dig under it. You can see the bottom of the rotting wood, but you don't see anything underneath it in that part of the soil.
I want to take the pickaxe and I want to pop the bottom of the coffin.
All right.
Nobody traps the bottom of the
raising your hand.
Oh, yeah, mate. I mean, you know, at this point, yikes.
Or you said the coffin was made from wood, right? Or
yes,
did I misunderstand that a bit?
Just a second. Katria, jump in here.
I think that when they first started doing this, and the merchant was sort of throwing a fuss, she's fairly repulsed, and I think she would have maybe tried to stalk off with the merchant, and is not, like, Katria cannot be witnessing the exhuing of the dead, so I think she's tried to take the merchant aside, and she is very used to having to justify the excesses of her honored colleagues, the other ecclesiarchs back in her city. So I think while she's like personally upset, she's also like, I need to leave a good impression for our group that this can't be happening. So she's going to sort of commiserate with the merchant and be like, I can't, but sort of try to bring it back around to, as you saw, some cloud of darkness came from this grave, and it would be a failure of our religious duty to leave such darkness on one's burial. It's our sacred honor and charge to ensure that we bring this one to proper rest. I mean, surely you'd want as much if you were to die along the road.
I suppose you're right. I hate to be a zombie.
Twitching all the while, the side as she's like, I can't believe I'm excusing these people. If you're back
rotten, falling apart, scrambling for people's brains. Yeah, you're right. Foul work this. I'll eat a sandwich. We leave when I'm done. Excellent. So you assuage the merchant's annoyance for now. Horo, you asked if the coffin is wood? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I'm going to walk towards our lovely monk, and instead I'm gonna hand him a hand axe and say, well, take it from the top. What's the point of making the body fall from the coffin?
Yeah. So you walk over with a hand axe in hand. Ethan just like pegs the bottom of it with his pickaxe, starts rending. You can hear the like break of it. Oh, hand axe. You go to town on this coffin. It breaks apart easily. The wood is rotten and old. Between a hand axe and a pickaxe, you make short work of what you can see. Bones come spilling out of it on into the like hole that you have dug here. Just a white bone that has lost any flesh or any other marcation upon it, along with about 9 pieces of bright polished silver. It looks to be about the same like size as a coin, but it is like shaped differently. It's not a perfect circle. It's got small kind of like almost rivets dug into the outside, like little half circles around the edge of this coin.
I wanna try something then. Now that we have 9 things like about the size of a silver piece with these indentations in the side, and I want to try to put those in the back of the grave where we had those.
Absolutely. You slide them into the indentation in the back. They almost like lock into place. Like you can hear them like sliding in gently around the kind of rivets. Each of them has a small hole drilled through the center. And as you push them in one by one, they kind of like disappear like into the hole, like kind of locking into place.
So when the last one's done, do we hear like a click or anything that happens?
You kind of hear them like when you slide metal into metal, like you kind of hear that like sound. They're not like clicking the way the mechanical click of the gas releasing was, but you can like hear them slotting into place.
Okay. So I ask for like a small piece of metal, like to have to like get in to the bit, maybe like diagonally, and I want to try to turn.
Do you have a small piece of metal that'll fit?
If I must, I will sacrifice a bit of my comb, but I'll be very upset if that is the case.
Okay. Sounds like it's the comb. I'm not hearing anyone else volunteering.
Rory, you don't.
Did I break my makeshift toolkit?
Yeah, you didn't break them. But you've got like fish hooks and like odd bits of metal. Like I don't think you have a pure long rod that you can just like stick down through there, right?
Okay.
I mean, I have an arrowhead if he wants that, but I don't think it's going to be very useful.
An arrowhead wouldn't go through it now.
You're just jealous of my gorgeous flowing locks.
Speaking of, I think you probably would have noticed that Katria has a pair of quite long, thin, and very pointy hairpins. Well, she claims they're hairpins. They maybe look slightly more like they're meant to be thrown at people. But she claims they're hairpins, and they are inscribed the same sort of celestial thing. They're like silvery. They're definitely decorative. They're her hairpins.
My lovely, gorgeous Katria. Would you allow me the honor of borrowing but one hairpin for just a moment to test a poor fool's theory?
Katria will like peer over your shoulder, look at the desecrated grave, and be like, well, only so that this burial has not been ruined for nothing. And she'll pull out one of these long silvery spikes, and you'll probably notice it's like slightly hollow, and pass it over and be like, please don't break this. I can't get a replacement in this land.
I and my stylist thank you profusely. And then I proceed.
You place the hairpin into the like metal coins that are now placed in this little indentation, and you turn, and sure enough they slide around. You can hear the metal like rods clinking into place, and as soon as you finish, like the whole ground around you rumbles slightly, and the headstone itself kind of begins to sink into the stone underneath it.
I make sure to pull out the hairpin. That cannot be sacrificed.
Excellent. You pull out the hairpin, making sure that it is safe as the whole tombstone goes down into the stone below it, revealing a small set of stairs beneath it, barely tall enough for like a gnome or like a small-sized person to walk down. A full-sized person would definitely have to crouch or perhaps crawl down this kind of deep, dark stair into the like stone beneath the tombstone.
And you doubted us, good sir.
It
Rory looks
could
at
very well still be a rotting, nasty zombie corpse down there.
Who knows what?
Who's small enough
Onward!
to fit? Who's
I
small enough to
dive right
fit?
in.
You're going first. All right.
Broom in hand, I crouch down and duck walk into the grave.
Katria will dash after you and be like, at least a blessing first, and reach out her hand and chant softly under her breath in a language in Celestial, if anyone understands that, but it's just a little prayer. And she will cast this upon you.
Protection from evil and good. Yes. All right. You protect against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, undead. Excellent. So, other than like the casting of your prayer, the few words, what does this protective magic look like?
Well, Katria has out of her overcoat, she'll pull out a small pouch of dark leather and flip it open, and in there's perfume, there's a bunch of vials that says ink, and in one of her vials she has some oil. And I think she dips her finger in that and paints a strange symbol on your forehead as she's chanting and intones that. And I think there's a sort of light, just very soft, golden shimmering for just a moment, like a little bit of starlight, and then it all fades. The oil seems to have burnt out. There was no heat, but it's gone. And then she just gives you a small nod and is like,
Excellent.
go with the blessing of my lights.
A faint aura around you. You duck walk with your broom down the stairs into the dark gloom below. Tell me, Ethan, can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Do you need another blessing?
I'm sorry, yes or no?
I have dark vision. I can in fact
Yes.
see.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So as you get down there, you see a small room. It seems to have been at one point a like workshop or perhaps a study of some kind. There is an old rotten desk. One of the legs has like given out over the years. It's fallen slantways. Like ink and bottles have like fallen and like formed a pool of like kind of rotting paper and like old animal lard like in the pool next to the edge of it. There is a like old tapestry faded with time and beginning to unravel around the edges. Like you could barely make out in the dark, like kind of hanging like what would be above the study. And in the chair there is a skeletal figure clad in a long flowing robe. As soon as you get down here, you feel warm, like really warm, like you're getting very close to a bonfire, like, or a campfire. When you're like getting closer to it, you can feel that heat radiating. Like as you're crawling down the stairs, you're like feeling it like warm up around you.
Well, thank God I found this place. This room is a mess.
I can't say I disagree.
And I begin immediately, broom in hand.
You just start sweeping the sludge. As you get down to the bottom, you pull out your broom to go like sweep the sludge up. I want you and your broom to make me a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Of course.
As you pull out your broom, the straw on the bottom of it that you're gonna sweep with catches fire, and the starts smoking up around you, and you feel like your own hair is catching fire, like you're on fire. It feels like you are almost combusting. Please take for me 3 points of fire damage as you enter the room.
Fantastic. Okay, is this a continued effect, or am I like?
It
is it
still
cooling
feels
down?
hot. Yeah,
Cool. Fantastic.
It's still
Okay, I
going.
go. Okay, well, in my round before I get set aflame again, I shall approach the corpse
Mm-hmm.
and grab it, and then duck walk my way out.
All right, you grab the corpse. The corpse like falls apart. Like the corpse is like rotting, and like it almost like just turns to dust as you move it at all.
I
It's just,
sweep the dust and anything in it along with me out the door.
You start dragging this thing out as
With your
as
burning
Ethan
broom.
leaves the cave. Anyone around it feels just like heat radiating out from the like entrance of this cave. Yeah, you like start sweating. It's hot. It's like there's. And then, like, you see his, like, broom, like, on fire. Like, the straw is smoking. Like,
What are you
he's got, like,
doing?
smoke coming off his little hairs as he's, like, coming out with, like, a bunch of bone and flesh dust and also this long blue flowing robe.
Ethan, was that a sauna there?
Oh, everybody, as he exits, give me DC 12 Constitution saving throws.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No. I was. I guess.
Sorry,
Sounds
guys.
like a sauna to me.
Let's. Damn it,
Alright,
man! I
for
cannot catch a break. This is
Those
like-
who failed, please take from me. I cannot find my roll 20. There we go. Haha! Please take from me 3 points of fire damage.
I'm down.
All right,
Oh, no.
Ethan, you walk out of the cave and you're holding this aloft. You can see like smoke like coming off the clothes of your companions, and Drory just like, hey, goes down in a
no.
heap, like smoke coming off of his hairs and his like nicely groomed little beard.
I'm not sure it's that nice
do I
and
see,
groomed. I'm
like,
not
do
like
I
these
feel-
guys.
Do I feel where this heat is? Is it coming from the robe?
Oh yeah,
Oh, fantastic. I put it on, all in the name of fashion.
you feel great. It is so cool and nice around you. Oh man, it's
Fantastic.
really good. Everybody else
I'm
still
really-
feeling it. You can see them
I'm really-
sweating. You can see like it's rough.
Yeah.
Everybody
really
else
digging
around me
these
can
floors
see me
right
go
now.
down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I move and I like run off. Like I run.
All right, either you just like run off into the forest. You see like leaves and pine needles like smoking. Like the bushes around you start crackling, catching little tiny fires.
Uh,
As he leaves the immediate vicinity, the rest of you like just immediately cool off. It's like the fire is gone. Drory is still like unconscious and like burning.
Katria is like, what have you done to my regalia? And she sort of fusses and, like, you know, she's been involved in the desecration of 2 graves and has been set on fire and poisoned. She's not thrilled with her companions right now, but she'll just very contemptuously hold out one of her hands, mutter a single word in Celestial under her breath, and expend a use of healing light to heal Drory.
All right, please make that happen.
You have healing. Oh, nice. That's good.
Awesome. So you described your kind of soft aura of protection. Does your healing light look similar?
I think that it is, compared to a lot of other magical effects, like from what you see from a cleric, that I don't think there's... Katria's spells seem very muted and subdued and not very strong. I think she holds out her hand and she's just like not even looking. She's very contemptuous right now. And I think in Drory's unconscious face, you'd see his eyes gain like a slight pulse of very soft, goldy starlight color. But I don't think you see, nothing comes from her hand. It's very sort of muted, and it seems like her magic is quite weak seeming in a way. Like she doesn't seem to sort of radiate with power. She seems very muted, like, because she's very like clad in gray and black, and just seems very soft.
So Vlad, you see Ethan come out with this robe. It burns. It's hot. Your like companion goes down in a heap. He gets healed. Ethan's running off. Small fires are happening. What is Vlad doing? What are you up to?
Honestly, I imagine Vlad just like standing, he didn't fail any of the saves, so I just imagine him like standing 20 feet away with a poker face and just like, no comments, just looking at what's happening.
Ah,
Everything
Enjoying
is
the
fine.
chaos.
okay.
Yeah, this is fine. Everything's on fire, the room's on fire, this is fine.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah.
I'm standing there. The world finally feels the effects of how hot I am. How can I fix this?
I don't know. How are you going to fix it?
Well, I have it on. I think to myself, come now, that's enough. Stop being dramatic. Like trying to think to the robe.
The robe itself does not seem to think back or speak. It does not seem to be a sentient robe.
Well, there goes the promise of giving it a nice floral embroidery. I try to, like, while still having it, like, partially on, like, turn it inside out a little bit. Like, to, like, try to, like, put it, like, have the one arm sleeve on still and, like, try to turn the sleeve inside out and try to do that and to see if it starts burning. If something like, oh, no, let's not do that.
At what point are you not wearing an item is a good question. I feel like if you have an arm
It's a
in the robe, you are wearing the robe, so you do not feel the effects of the flame.
So I'm hearing if I wear it like inside out, like partial, like one arm inside out and one arm normal, I can just cancel out the effects. It's all heated towards me, but I'm still immune to the flame.
I don't think that's what I said, but you could think that.
I try that. Do the fires go out? Does the
No.
universe stop feeling? No? Okay. Well, I have to attune to this. I'm just like, go on! I'll stay behind you! Don't worry, this is gonna look fantastic on me!
Looking good there.
The merchant finally wanders out. He's like taking the last bite of his pastrami sandwich. That was a good lunch. Are we ready to get on the road now? Burning daylight.
Literally.
Yeah, we are!
I think Jory
So far
like-
away.
he was in a dream of like seeing like the sea at night, from a ship, and seeing the stars right when the starry light brought him back. 4 hit points, right? That's correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Speaking of, I think Katria would, having cooled slightly from her restrained tantrum, like, I am a dignified high priestess, like, I'm not going to throw a tantrum, but you just burnt, like, all the relics I had in my home, so I'm still mad. She will also place a hand on her chest and invoke her other use of healing light on herself,
Okay.
because I'm on one health.
Darling, would a French braid help anything?
If it was not that I would burn further, I would tell you to come back so I could strangle you.
Maybe later, darling, but not while we're out adventuring. It's not professional.
So
eyebrow
I guess this somehow we have a Burning Man following us, and they're yelling at each other.
That is very odd. Have you ever been? It's a mind-altering experience, I will tell you.
A man of culture, I see.
Of course, I am a merchant. I am the culture.
I am the culture.
Okay, one last thing I'd like to try. I'd like to start, like, trying to fold it in on itself. Like, doing, like, the partial, like, while having the one arm in to make sure I'm still wearing, like, fold it in on itself, so the outside is all, like, start, like, balling it up almost. And seeing if at any point it fixes it. Does the inside act as insulation for the outside?
I'm just gonna give you this. You're like trying to go halfsies. You take off the cloak and you fold it inside out. And sure enough, the flaming radiation that you feel from it cools, and you do not feel the like effects of it radiating out.
You don't, merchant,
It's a
you don't.
really nice looking robe. I try to put it on.
You put it back on. The flames start back up. You can see like needles like catching fire and burning. Like a whole bush just goes up in flame next to you.
Oh, this is a perfect item for me. I take it off, and I'm like, okay, we're good. Fold it up.
Okay.
If I don't put it on, but I unfold it, is
You
it going to start up?
unfold it, yeah. As you reveal the exterior of the cloak, the flames appear. You feel your brows sweating. You like nose hairs inside your nose curl and smoke.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, good to know.
Hey, if anybody says that you're not hot, you can prove them wrong, right?
Oh, the world will know just how hot I am.
Good.
What should I call this, Greg?
This is the cloak of the Flamewalker.
None of you have any powdered silver, do you?
What?
Powdered silver? None of you have any?
Oh,
I
sorry.
mean, I'm sure we can get some couple of
I'll be
gold,
right back.
silver coins real quick.
Yeah,
We
me.
need to make some. Give me a second. Let me take care of this tomb real quick.
I don't think those trinkets you found will be enough, and trying to sanctify a grave with the grave goods taken from the grave seems counterintuitive. Merchant, you don't have any... you know before how I mentioned to you that it's important to give people a proper burial. As you can see, we've unearthed a great evil here. Just look at what's happened to my regalia. I would like to put them back properly to rest to ensure nothing undead rises again, but I require powdered silver for my rituals to really take efficacy.
You are quite right. Quite right. Can't be having any nasty zombies. Who want this to
Absolutely
turn
not.
into a Romero flick or something? Yes, Justine, give the
Romero.
woman her silver. And one of the laborers will go and to the front half of the caravan beyond the spices, pull out a small quantity of powdered silver and hand it to you for your rituals.
May thank you. I have not met many merchants who were so forthright and so foresighted as to sacrifice a little profit for the betterment of us all. The light shines gladly upon you.
It's an investment. We're
Indeed.
gonna be rich.
As you say, sir, and Katria will perform her last rites, or funeral rites, for the two corpses, and try to, I don't think she'd risk going down into the Chamber of Fiery Death, so she'll probably start laying the bones of both of them just in the hole that's been dug and put them... It's not a good burial, but it's more than anyone else is offering.
So your funeral rite prevents them from becoming undead, correct? Is that the...
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So you sanctify the bones and the powdered mess of a human being that once was bones, and they can you can feel your magics kind of protect and seal the dead to the kind of land beyond, wherever that may be.
This is all fantastic. Darling, I love you so much for everything you do.
Yes. Well,
right.
hopefully...
I finished my sandwich. If there is nothing else, can we be on?
Oh, of course we can go, Ethan says as he comes out with the remains of the, what was that, the banner we had, the tapestry we had put up under his arm.
Okay, yeah, you pull out that tapestry. It's unraveling behind you.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
So old. It's all you have to handle it with such care. It almost wants to disintegrate in your hands.
Oh, yeah. I have a sewing kit. It's fine.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
It's for aesthetics, Cred. This isn't about money.
All right, absolutely. Please add a tapestry somewhere to your character. It will weigh 10 pounds.
Fantastic. I toss it on the donkey.
On the cart.
All right.
I want to ask this merchant when we get back going again. You're a part of the Merchants Guild or whatever, right?
No!
The Merchants League?
No, actually, I am not. I am an independent contractor. Yes.
Right on.
My name will be known far and wide one day. Yes, I will make my own guild.
I shall tell all know in the conclave of your piety and your assistance in this matter today.
Oh, yes. Put in a good word for me, will you? Yes. That would
You've more than
be
ample, sir.
wonderful. Now, let's continue.
Yes.
So, you finally
Sorry.
hack yourselves up, and you make your way through the woods once more. The days kind of are tough and grueling and exhausting. You're always worried about this cloak like folding back open again and setting everything on fire. Maybe you're not. Ethan doesn't seem to care.
I have it in my lap. I'm like sitting on the cart, like I'm sewing in a floral embroidery across the entire thing as we're going through. Like keep me folded up and like trying to like peek and like a quick couple of stitches, fold it back down.
The days are like running by. You're nearing the like edge of the woods, and you're in the hills. Eventually the carts themselves are like bouncing between. Fortunately, your scout's doing a great job of like, the cloud shape tells me that we should go this way, and you avoid the worst of it. But
wait, I've never got this guy's name. I know he's a halfling. What is your name, by the way? I guess I never got formally introduced to you.
A very smart man. You finally learned the name of your employer. Imogen.
Imogen.
Yes.
Imogen?
Imogen.
How do you say it? Imogen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, continue. Yes, my dear. You don't have to raise your hand, you know.
And you're going to have your own guild someday, huh?
Aye.
You're going to need partners for that, right?
Maybe.
And I can captain a ship. That's what I really want to do. I was thinking trying to do it for the trade guild, but I guess you're not associated with them. But if you're starting your own, you're going to need a captain, right? I know boats.
I'll keep you in mind. Maybe slide me a resume or something.
Imogen, Drory Imogen. Hey, look at that. What do you know? Good to meet you.
My dear.
How does he like? Is he not being serious when he?
Sorry, my friend. You're interrupting our friend Katria.
Oh, Katria's over here.
I think after they've stopped for lunch at one point and had a small rest just somewhere along the journey, Katria would approach Imogen and having sort of dual motivations of, this person has aided me without any need, but also things seemed a little shady when we were in town and there's some Fae shenanigans going on. She will offer Imogen a blessing. And like, I would like to keep you safe on our travels. Would you permit me to give you a small blessing?
I'm not really big on magic spells from strangers. You see, sometimes they say they'll cast one thing, then they do another thing. I don't know.
I don't think she would have said a spell. I think she just offers a blessing.
Blessings, it's all the same. Magics, gods, arcanes, devils, it's all magic.
If that is to your liking, then.
You, sir, are the wisest man I've ever met.
Oh,
I know, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
So as this conversation winds down, the lookout is on point. Ethan, you're chatting up somebody, offering to comb their hair, offering some French braid, who knows what. And as this conversation happens, you look over and you find in the in the woods nearby a small looking camp. There are a few rough and tumble looking men. All of them appear to be human, but it is difficult to say. They are sitting around a smoldering campfire, as if the fire itself has largely gone out. But there's still a few coals, a few things kind of being stirred around the pot. They haven't noticed you and your party yet, but they are directly in your path. There are 3 of them. They do seem heavily armed. They have big cloaks kind of draped around them. It's hard to tell how armored they are, but big heavy crossbows sit at their feet, and one is stirring the ashes of that fire with like a big, like almost mace-looking weapon.
I see.
Have we healed at all? Is this the same day, or?
This would be a new day, but your
Oh, it would be a
wound
new
still
day.
be intact.
Fantastic.
We can't spend any hit dice.
Yes, you may spend hit dice as if you have had a night's rest in the woods. So your day has changed from the previous investigation of the graves. So what that means for you is that you have had a night's rest, so you may spend any number of hit dice that remain in your pool to regain HP as well as regain spells or class features you used during the investigation of the grave. After which you can recover half of your total rounded up. At level 1, it's just 1 to use the next day.
And I believe the wound disappears as well, right?
The wound does not. The wound stays.
And so what does that mean? So it means I keep the 8 hit points of damage then.
You keep the wound. Whatever you rolled, or if you took the average from your wound, you will reduce your max HP by that until the wound goes away. And the wound does
reduces the max.
The maximum hit points, yes.
So I'm only at 2 right now then, the whole time. Okay, I didn't heal 4.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't spend hit die, I get the hit die back anyway, no worries. Cool.
Okay.
Ethan, I can't
you see these
rest.
rough and tumble people. What do you do?
I whisper to my party, we have bandits about, we can't avoid them. Don't worry, I will be the distraction. And I run directly towards them, throwing my robes upon myself. I say, halt, you vile people.
I guess I'd get my bow out and shake my head. And I'll hide behind a tree and get my bow out. And then
I pull out my bow straight away as well.
All right, the party prepares for combat as Ethan races forward towards these people. Party, I'm going to have you just be a little bit behind Ethan here. Ethan, you come racing up, your monkish self with your robes flowing. How close do you get to them when you have the robe on?
I'm throwing it on as I run. I'm full as close to them as possible.
You get right up into them. All right, perfect.
There we go.
Yeah, all right, you get right up into them. They look up a little bit in surprise. They weren't ready for a glamorous monk to come rushing up to them.
Broom in hand, ready.
As you get that close to them, all of them are going to make some saving throws. They are going to make Constitution saving throws. They all get +2s. Let's roll that here. I'm just going to roll 3d20.
Mm-hmm.
That's 23d20. That's too many. Okay. So that's an 11, a 4, and a 5. All of them fail. Please roll me d6 fire damage. All of them immediately just erupt in flame. You can they yelp in pain. Ah! You can smell smoldering flesh. They turn to you and it looks like they are going to maybe parlay or talk, but each of them grab their weapons and it is time to roll me some sweet initiative. Let me grab these other tokens for the rest of you. So, Drory, you're going to be down here with Vlad and Katraya. Perfect. So go ahead and click on your tokens. Give me an initiative roll as the fire damage just immediately erupts their anger.
I like it.
Brilliant. All right, do we have initiative tracker working? Oh ho ho! It does! Beautiful! So, Ethan, you are the first to react as the flames of your cloak erupt around them. You can see it physically burning them. And they shout their surprise and their anger at you, weapons drawn hastily and suddenly. What do you do?
Ha! Yes! You will revel in my hotness! And then I will take out my broom, cower at the face of my mighty broom, and I will sweep a big lump of dirt up and get a dust cloud going all on their faces, and I'm taking the dodge action.
All right, you throw up a big cloud of dust to try to like shield yourself and hide from them. Excellente. Drory, you see the flames erupt. You see the like cloud of dust pick up as you were claiming to take out your bow or hide behind a tree. Like you're seeing all this happen. What do you do?
So I'm gonna move 5-10 feet here. Am I under the tree, or is there like a trunk of right there, or is the trunk closer?
Let's see. The middle of that tree. Yeah, it looks like the middle of the tree is like kind of where you're pinging, so you could be like under that canopy.
Well, I want to have my back up against the tree as much as I can, so I'll move like another 5 feet.
Sure, yeah.
And then I'm going to. I can't bonus action hide yet, so I'm just gonna hide, I guess. Keeping my back to the tree, having my party in front of me. I'd like to target the first thing that comes at us with a bow shot, but I have to wait, I guess. So I'm going to hide right now.
All right, excellent. You hide as best you can. Go ahead and give me a stealth dexterity.
Mostly I'm hiding from these three guys down here.
Yeah. All right, 16 is your hide check. Beautiful. These three go. They pull out their maces and they come rushing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's gonna come here with a double move, and provide some pack tactics for these as they slam maces towards you in your cloud of dust. You like kicked up this dust. These people are just attacking. They each get 2 attacks. They would normally be at advantage, but you are dodging. So the first will attack with a 23, clubbing down upon you with their mace for 4 points of damage. The second attack is a 23 as well, for 8 more bludgeoning.
I'm
Are
down.
you up?
No, I'm down.
You are down.
I'm real down.
All right. So this guy full moved. This guy maced you in the face. This guy is going to move 1 more square here, and he's gonna pick up off his waist a crossbow, and he's going to fire it in the direction of Vlad.
Bring it.
Yes, the heavy crossbow comes firing your way. With a 13, will that hit?
No, it does not.
All right.
I kind of jump out of the way. You know, it lands next to me.
Excellent. All 3 of them end their turn inside the radius of the Cloak of the Flamewalker. They will save. 2 of them succeed, but 1 fails. Go ahead and give me a d6 fire damage, please, as this one here in the middle has failed his roll. All right. Excellent. That is fire damage. Katra, what do you do?
So I think, well, when this starts, Ethan goes running off, and the other 2, grab bows and jump, and Katra's just in, like, we could negotiate. And, she will step here to the side, and, sort of look out at them, and they're like, I guess we're not, and hold out her hand and just go like, perish in my radiance, and she will, towards this closest one who has a crossbow, send out a bolt of, it's a sort of golden, almost electric, not quite, but sort of cackling golden, the little motes of starlight, burst of energy, goes flying, and with
Your blast of motes of energy just kind of like reflects off the like shining metal underneath their cloak. You see him trying to like kind of duck out of the way. Your blast hits him anyway, but his armor turns it aside, so it does not damage him over much.
I think she'll give us a perfidious, contemptuous, instead of muttering, will fall back to sort of just out of, like, behind the screening of the plant, the tree.
Vlad, it is your turn.
Yes.
What will you do?
Vlad is gonna pick up as a free item interaction. Is it a bolt or an arrow that landed next to me?
It is a bolt, a heavy crossbow bolt.
I'm gonna pocket that real quick. I'm gonna run 30 feet back, still hoping to have some vision on them. and I'm gonna let loose my bow at them.
All right, please do.
Yeah, so I run 30 feet away, and the guy that shot at me, the one that's closest to us, the one holding the crossbow.
Do you have a
I'm gonna
line of
shoot at
sight through the trees there? It looks like you do. Yeah. Okay.
Can I?
Should, unless the
I think
this part
it's
of the tree is in the way.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Go ahead and give me a shot here.
Yeah. So I am gonna be using my feat that I have acquired in my arduous training as a soldier of a sharpshooter as well.
All right, excellent.
There we go.
That is an 8. Your arrow flies true, sharp as you could shoot it, but it is unable to penetrate the armor of these men. They kind of like shrug off your shot and growl your direction.
Quick question:
Unfortunate.
what armor do they have on?
They, underneath their cloaks, have what appears to be some kind of ringed metallic armor. The not chainmail, but the like rings themselves are like riveted onto what appears to be like leather, and they overlap like scales. I guess that's scale mail. I just described scale mail. They have scale mail.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I don't know if they mechanically have scale mail. Does 5e have mechanically scale mail?
I think
Yes.
Scale mail is
It's the same as ring mail.
So they have armor that looks like scale mail, but may or may not be scale mail mechanically.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Sorry, I am. The main thing I wanted to do was a bonus action, and then I forgot you could do two. Can I still take my bonus action or not? Sorry, I messed up. But I was
Sure. What bonus action would you like to take?
She'll like send out a healing light and heal your friend.
Ah, yes. Does
Yeah,
healing
sorry,
lights
I-
have a range?
60 feet.
Perfect. All
I
right.
I'd planned to do that, and I worked out how I was going to describe her doing something with both hands, and I was like, my action is casting Eldritch Blast, and forgot. I'm very sorry.
All right. Excellent.
it's a bonus action. That's pretty dope, right?
Excellent. So, Ethan, you are unconscious, like fading into oblivion, maybe, and then your eyes snap open, the heavenly light of the Celestials, like, fueling them for a brief moment. You wake up with some HP, surrounded by these thugs. What do you do?
I'm like, my eyes burst open. I'm like, can't keep a good monk down. And I, in one move, like legs sweeping up along with my broom, I rise to my feet, and I once again take the dodge action. I want to make it a point to say this now before it happens later. The caravans are like rushing past to make sure they get away. First and foremost.
Okay. The
And then-
caravans begin rushing
Yeah.
past.
Yeah, that was like that was like the intention from the beginning.
Give me a charisma persuasion check, as you like hollered that order before combat began.
Yeah. Okay. With advantage for my stunning personality and my actions with the handlers beforehand.
I think the handlers are, or the merchants are more enamored with Katria. She like spoke to them and got them off the edge. I think they're kind of irritated with you. Maybe the
Could a
laborers
wingman
like
for
you,
him,
but the
you know?
merchants like nah.
Provide the help action and wingman for him.
It's okay. I'm perfect
You
anyway.
spoke sense to this merchant. He understands. He's like, Dolly! Go! Slaps the mule, hits the reins. The cart's like banging and bouncing across the rocks. The merchants realize, or the thugs kind of realize what's happening as they look around and see the carts bouncing around. They swear a little bit, and you take the dodge action. Drory, all of this is going on around you. What do you do?
We don't have the exhaustion.
You
Anymore?
are exhausted, yes.
And we have the exhaustion and the wound still.
Yes.
After
Yes.
multiple days. Okay, just want to make sure. No worries. So that means that I'm shooting with disadvantage, but I have advantage because I'm hidden if I attack.
You only
Like,
have
shouldn't
disadvantage on
have
ability checks, I believe.
Not attack rolls. Okay,
Not
I'm sorry.
attack
That's
rolls, because you only
okay.
have one level of exhaustion.
So I will actually have advantage with my short bow. I'm gonna pop out from my cover and my hidden and attack this guy from hiding, which should give me advantage.
You hit with a 16. You do indeed have advantage.
No,
I
no.
did not see you hide.
Okay, 20. Okay, perfect.
Your short bow flies true, striking him. Give me some damage there.
It's only 3. Yikes.
3. Which I was double checking my ruling here for exhaustion. Which bandit did you hit? 1, 2, or 3?
Number 2.
Perfect. You hit him for 3 points of damage. Excellent.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I should have another 1d6. I'm sorry for my
Okay.
sneak attack.
Yep.
I should have had that
Give me
already.
that sneak attack.
Oh, only
Another
3 more,
3.
so 6.
Excellent. Your bow strikes him. He like stumbles back, and you can tell that this thug here is bloodied.
Oh.
All right. It is Thug turn. Thug is. All right. 2 of these thugs are PO'd at the flame-walking crazy person here, and they're gonna keep trying to beat him up. This guy, though, number 3 here, he is.
Could I have used my movement before you do any other moving to move?
Yeah,
We're
move
kind
your
of trying to
character,
keep
man.
things.
Awesome.
He would
you gotta
relocate
love it
after
when
sniping.
characters keep moving to the far edges of the map. All right.
I charged right in.
This guy starts chasing after the caravan. He's just gonna go 5, 10. You can take an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Please.
15, 20, 30.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Where is? There it is. Okay.
All right. He starts hoofing it. He's just getting after that.
You had to bring them
full of
up,
goodies.
didn't you, bud? You had to bring them up.
17.
That will hit.
Fantastic. I take my broom and I knock into his foot, and I will do 5 damage.
Excellent. You deal 5 damage to him as he scampers off, trips for a second, but then capes his feet and starts chasing after the carts. Excellent. This thug here is going to try to put you down. He's like, "Weren't you unconscious, boy? I'll make you stay down." And he will attack with a 20.
Oh my goodness. man.
Dealing you 6 points of
Wait.
bludgeoning
Don't they have
damage.
disadvantage because he's dodging?
He has
They
pack
have pack
tactics.
tactics. I'm down again.
He's down again. Excellent. You're like, "Hey, stay down." This guy realizes that you've stayed down, and he is going to step forward away from you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Trying to line up this shot here. He can't. Looks like you're kind of behind that tree there, Mr. Vlad. So he's just
Oh
gonna.
no, I'd rather take the shot instead of a tree if possible. If I see that he's moving forward, I'll jump out from it.
You jump out hit me. All right, he's gonna fire his crossbow right back at you after reloading. Excellent. He will strike you with a 20 for 3 points of piercing damage. Excellent. Katria, it's your turn. As you see
Can I get
the
a-
bandits chasing off. Before it's your
Sounds good.
turn, actually, number 1 is still next to the Flamewalker. Give me some fire damage.
Poop.
As he succeeds, so he doesn't take it at all. Perfect.
Doesn't count.
Katria, now it's your turn.
Sorry, is Vlad still conscious?
Vlad is at 90% of HP.
Ethian is unconscious.
Yes, the monk is unconscious and Vlad is completely fine.
Okay, good. Katria will look around herself in despair and how terribly this is going, and she'll once again call upon her last reserve of celestial investiture to bring forth her healing light on our dear monk. You're like, this is what recklessness earns you. So I'll expend as my bonus action 1 charge of healing light, and then she'll turn and glare at Bandit Man number 2 here, and like, get back, you contemptuous dog, and send out her crackling burst of energy once again. For 21.
All right, that'll strike true. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Nice.
8 points of damage. Do you have an add-on to that?
I know I need to get an invocation.
You didn't have that put in. Okay, perfect. So 8 points of damage to number 2 here. He reels back as your celestial light strikes him. He falls to a knee, like some blood from the previous arrow dribbles down him. But he doesn't die. He gets back up, and anger in his eyes as he looks at you, hefting up his crossbow.
Yeah.
I think Katya's eyes widen a little, and she's proud. She's obstinate, but she's not quite at that level of wanting martyrdom yet. Mm-hmm. So she is going to retreat, and we get 30 feet of movement, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Katria, my darling, how much did you heal the darling monk for?
So sorry. For 4.
Thank you.
1, 2, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll go here, I guess.
All right.
There we are.
You hide behind a tree as best you can. Excellent. Vlad, what will you do?
Vlad is torn. You know, he doesn't know if the monk is the bravest man or the most stupid man he's ever seen. Charging in like that. And at the same time, he really wanted to have that one-on-one battle, ranged battle with this guy. But now that Katria, is dealing with him, he's kind of torn. Should he kill this man, or should he stop the other thug from reaching the caravan, essentially? Is it possible for me to... Do I have any, a line of vision on this guy? Through those couple of trees and stuff?
I think you'd have to move. You're firing up a rocky hillside there, and, through this tree, and maybe even this one. I think you'd want to reposition.
Sure. So, if possible, I would like to first of all shoot at the man that was just shooting at me first, then.
Okay. Absolutely.
I don't want to run and then shoot, It's not what I'm about. So once again, I'm gonna do the same thing. He's quite wounded, right? He was bloodied, and then he took some damage.
You can see he's looking quite bad.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna use my sharpshooter this time. I'm simply shooting it at him with my bow.
Oh,
amazing!
But once again, despite your true aim, the scaled armor just reflects it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna move 30 feet.
Did anybody get inspiration?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember.
I passed as well.
Yes. As a lookout, you would have taken inspiration. I thought I said that, but if I did not, you would have inspiration marked.
I appreciate you.
So I shoot my bow at this guy, and I move 30 feet closer to the other one.
All right, excellent.
And I try to taunt the guy that's barely alive. I'm like, your fights with me, old man, or whatever. He sounded stupid as hell. So, your fights with me, stupid man.
Ethan, you have been knocked unconscious by non-lethal force. You are unconscious. Drory.
No, I used healing light.
Oh, you used healing light.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ethan, you're alive. What do you do?
I shove my broom in his face and go nah.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just brushing, I'm sweeping back and forth across his face, and that is me taking the dodge action.
Confounded! I'll show you. I'll keep you down for good. I'll keep you down for good, boy. All right, Drory, it is your turn. You hear this shouting going on. What do you do?
I am going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 And I believe I have a line of sight to that guy from right here.
Yeah, sure. Underneath the boughs of the far reach of that tree. Yeah.
That makes sense. And if I was a little quicker on my shit, let's go. And I have no advantage, and this won't be any sneak attack, which freaking blows. Actually, that guy would have sneak. You know what? Anyway, I'm just gonna do it. 18.
18 will hit.
For 5 damage.
For 5
Almost as much as I needed.
damage! Excellent. Your bow shot pierces him like through the neck, just above his armor. He falls gurgling on the ground.
That's 1!
Excellent. The thugs go. All right. Boy, I told you, I'm gonna mess you up. He raises his mace above him, but he has disadvantage. His friends have gone to do other things. The 7 will miss. Your broom's like in his nose. He swings wildly, like clipping a branch off the tree above you. It quickly catches fire from the cloak that you're wearing and burns up. He swings a second time down on you. With a 15?
That'll hit.
Excellent. His mace clubs you for 7 points of damage.
And I'm down.
All right. Excellent.
Yo.
He's like, and I said, stay down, boy. And he looks over to his dead friend and is gonna move away from you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Excellent. That is his move.
Oh.
That will bring us to Katria.
Yeah, well, I think at this point she's starting to get a lot more shaky. She'll pull out her saber, just cosmetically at the moment, but she's, drawing that and holding that kind of a little shakily, and she will... How much can I draw a line of sight under the boughs of the tree?
Like,
if I was to move to, here or so, would I be able to...
Yeah, I think that's fine, right? We've kind of said that center mass, you're kind of, through the very edge. I think that's a line of sight. I'll count that.
Just hit a draw. I can't do any more for a very dashing companion, but perhaps we can hold them off yet. And she will let forth another burst of celestial starlight, and...
All right.
For 22.
You attack with a 22. Go ahead and roll me some damage. For 4 points of damage, you strike him. The celestial energy knocks him back a second. He narrows his eyes. Oh, there's another trick over here. I'll get you too.
One of your friends has already fallen. None of us. I suggest you should flee, and then she'll hide. Undermine everything she's saying, but then hiding.
She says none of us didn't realize it, that actually one of us fell 4 times.
Yeah.
You should be scared. Hides.
Vlad, you hear the valiant words of your hiding companion. What do you do?
Vlad is concerned. He has his focus on the guy that's running away. He's gonna try to step away from the canopy a little bit from the trees and hopefully catch at least a glimpse of the guy.
Yeah, so this guy would have spent his round chasing after the caravan as well, right? So he's he's in full hustle and bustle, rushing off to the edge of the trees. You can see him gaining ground against the wagons. They're bumping and grinding against the roots of trees and trying to go over rocks and stuff.
Right, so would I still have some sort of vision on him? As a sharpshooter, I'm trained to even when people have cover, I'm usually pretty effective against them.
I think with you as a sharpshooter, ignoring cover, you slide into that open area, duck under some branches, you're there, and you can try to thread one through the trees, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I am gonna be using my sharpshooter feat for this attack. Sorry, my sheet takes forever to open. I apologize. There we go. Why am I so bad?
Yeah, that's rough.
You thread it through the trees. And like the arrow looks like it's right on line, but like it just turns out that this is a fast dude. Like this is the Usain Bolt of bandits, dude. He just like outruns your arrow. It just like falls like right on line, but like at his feet.
Yeah, you see a 200-pound man, like covered in 100 pounds of armor, just running faster than I can keep up with.
Yeah, this dude's crazy.
Jesus.
Ethan, you've been
I
knocked
kind
on...
of scratch my head.
Did we miss Drory somewhere?
I'm after Ethan, I think.
Oh, okay,
last time I
you
went,
killed the
I dropped
thug.
this guy.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Ethan,
Yeah, so it's my turn.
you're unconscious, yeah?
Yes.
Perfect.
We are.
You're unconscious. Drory!
I feel like my guy's quick enough to get a free extra bow shot at the end of the round. You know what I mean?
You wish.
Guys, knock him back into the flames. Oh.
Knock him back.
Drory, it is your turn.
Oh,
Ethan
it is okay. No, it is my
unconscious.
turn. I guess. My fault. I guess I'm just gonna take a bow shot then.
Absolutely.
Oh, I gotta resubmit it a second time. A 21.
21 will
for
hit.
7 damage.
For 7 damage, you strike
number one.
and bloody this bandit. I said, boy, girl over there, I'm gonna get you. I dare you make me
And
bleed
then-
my own blood.
And then Drory will move. I guess would there be a tree trunk right there?
Yeah, it's about center mass of it. Yeah, you could like take cover behind the tree trunk.
All right, I'll be kind of with Katria, kind of like trying to, hold up this position, I guess.
All right.
After firing my bow, basically.
All right, excellent. That is your turn. Thugs go. Vlad, you could just see that guy hoofing it. High knees, high knees, high knees. He's catching up. This guy here is gonna go 5, 10, whoa, 15, 20, 25, 30. Be very disappointed by the fact he can't shoot you. And go 5, 10, 15, 20. Get right up in your business. Like, bloody face, like, holding up his, like, crossbow, which he then drops and pulls up a mace. Alright. Katria, you see this happening, this mountain of a man in front of you. What do you do?
In 5th edition, how does casting spells work in...
If you make a spell attack, like a ranged spell attack, it would be at disadvantage in melee. But if it's like Sacred Flame or something that requires a save, it would just be normal.
And there's no way to use Inspiration to cancel out, to give them disadvantage, right?
You could do that.
No, I was thinking of casting Charm Person, but he'll have advantage because I can't...
I don't believe Inspiration can give other people disadvantage. It would give you like advantage on things that you do.
I've never used it before, sorry.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
if you make an attack or a save, then you can have like advantage on it
Yeah.
with inspiration.
I think she still will use that to... Oh no, I can't. She'll Stars Smite you. Perish in Radiance and calls down her Sacred Flame.
Oh, very nice. All right, it will make a dexterity save for you. Just a second as I pull up his stuff here. You shout out, the flames or the stars smite you, and sure enough, it does. Your radiance erupts around him. Give me some damage.
Oh, it rolled it there. It's 5 Radiant.
Oh, there it is. Yep, I see it. Thank
And
you.
I think that has some kind of extra effect, Sacred Flame.
I think they have other people to hit him have advantage or something along those lines, no?
Yes.
Yes, the target glows radiantly. It no longer benefits from cover.
And at this point, Katra will, hold her saber out and sort of try to be a little more confident and stare down this brigand and be like, the card's already gone. You have nothing to gain here but your own demise.
All right, Vlad, what's up?
Yeah. Vlad has his killer instinct on. He's huffing and puffing 30 feet forward, chasing the guy, hoping to get some vision on him. And as he gets around here, hopes to get at least one hit on him before he reaches the caravan.
All right, excellent. Go ahead and give me that roll to hit.
And once I was learning archery, they taught me if you cannot hit a target, like a person in combat, just imagine an apple on top of his head, and instead of aiming at a person, just aim at the apple.
Oh, I like it.
It's easier to hit.
All right. With
Whoa,
images
look
of
at that.
apples in your head, you line up the perfect shot. The bow races between branches of trees, like clips right through the middle of a leaf, flies right into his back. Give me some damage.
There we go. For 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage. Oh, nice. Your bow shot takes him right in the neck. He's high knees. He's reaching out to grab the cart. Falls.
He just slumps over.
No, he doesn't slump over. He was hoofing it. This is Usain Bolt. He like barrel rolls down like the rocks, like blood and
sheep.
bone snapping.
That was the kind of style Ethan was looking for a party. Well done.
He saved it all up for one moment.
Exactly. All my luck condensed into one shot.
All right,
Yeah, Vlad, the
beautifully done. Beautifully done. All right, that leads us to who next? Ethan, you're knocked out. Drury, this big thug is just in front of you, growling his bloody mouth. What do you do?
I drop my bow and item interact out my warhammer. I can't actually item interact two weapons out and draw my dagger too, right? Or is that a bonus action?
That would be a full action to draw.
I think it would be a full action to
Okay,
draw
so
both.
I'm gonna attack two-handed with my warhammer then, and I will have not advantage, but this will, if I hit, then I apply my sneak attack as well.
Because Katria is within 5 feet. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Fuck!
You
I didn't.
swing, and he just bats your
should've even said
warhammer
that. I should've just
aside.
rolled it.
His big mace just slams it into the like tree trunk next to him. He just... All right. With that, it is his turn. He decides Katria is his most wanted. He raises his mighty mace to slam down upon you. With a 9! He misses. His momentum is thrown off because he, banged your warhammer into the tree, and he just, swings, above Katria's head. Just, whoosh! He growls in anger, rings back, aiming more true this time, and attacks again. With a 14?
Easily.
Easily. The mace comes crashing down upon you this time, Katria, for 8 bludgeoning damage.
I think Katria holds up her saber and tries, and it's just like a heavy hammer. It just completely pushes her feeble grasp away and crashes down on her head, and Katria falls to the ground unconscious.
All right,
No!
it is non-lethal damage. You are merely knocked unconscious, but you are down. Katria, you are unconscious. Vlad, you turn around. Your success ringing in your ears. You're so excited about this amazing shot. You look for your friends. 2 of them are on the ground unconscious. The other one is getting stared down by this angry thug. What do you do?
So what Vlad is gonna do is he's gonna run to the sledge here. He's gonna slide it down. While sliding, he's gonna try and repeat what he just did. Imagine another apple.
All right, I want you to give me an acrobatics dex check as you're sliding down this kind of tough hill. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you kick a
now
piece
the
of wood in front of you and slide down it like a skateboard, and then fire your arrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to use the rule of cool, There we
That's
go.
awesome, man.
With an 18, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
17.
For 17, you see the thug rearing back his mighty mace, staring down Jory, about to finish him, and your arrow just knocks him out. He falls to the ground, blood pooling in a circle, mingling with the blood of your fallen companion.
For that
The rest-
act of absolute, like, daring and style, I donate my inspiration.
Can you do that?
Yes. It is specifically in the rules that I can give you my inspiration
Mm-hmm.
if I have some.
You
I
absolutely
was
Well,
thinking
okay.
of
donate
asking
inspiration.
Katria for her inspiration a second ago when I missed, but I wasn't sure how that works. But I guess I would tend to her. I'm gonna like slump against a tree and then make sure she's alive because I didn't probably notice if she
Yeah,
was
so you
killed or
notice that
not,
she's
so.
like breathing shallowly, but not in like mortal peril. It just seems that she's been clonked upside the head quite viciously. She will
And
wake
what-
up with 1 HP along with Ethan in 4 hours.
But what I think happens is because Ethan has his cloak that damages everyone that gets close. Vlad is just gonna run with tears in his eyes, trying to see if he's still alive. Oh no!
You
And then he
run up
gets
as
there.
soon as you get within 15 feet of the cloak. You immediately start feeling this burning like fire on your body.
Yeah.
If you push closer, I'm gonna make you take I'm gonna make you make that DC 12 con save.
I think Vlad would absolutely want to make sure this guy is alive.
All right,
Oh,
please
I'll
give me a
Vlad,
DC 12 Constitution
Oh, no.
saving throw.
Come back quickly,
Fail.
Vlad.
Oh, please take for me. Palladian rolled it. 2 fire
Sorry.
damage.
Great. And I run up to him, and eventually I like try ripping off the cloak almost straight away, like trying to see if he's wounded or anything.
You rip away the cloak from him, and as soon as you do, Palladian, make me DC 12 the Constitution save at disadvantage for being unconscious.
For the cloak.
Yeah, for the cloak.
Oh no.
I'm fine.
All right, Palladian does not burn up immediately as you yank the cloak off of him. You look down, or not Palladian, Ethan. You look down at Ethan and you see like he's breathing shallowly. He has a giant lump on one side of his head, another one forming on the other side of his head. He's beaten up and unconscious, but he is alive.
Come on, Greg. We should know by now. It's not the cloak that's the heat's coming from. It's me. Come on. I can't burn my
I
own
feel
hotness.
two sources of heat coming, right?
One is stronger than the other. I'll let you choose which.
Of course, Ethan, of course. Of course. I would like to just like toss the cloak or like run with it, toss it, like run 10 feet, toss it as far as I can.
All right,
and
you
get back to
chuck
Ethan.
the cloak into the woods. A bush lights up on fire. But your companions and yourself do not feel its heat.
Okay, great. I bring the party together, kind of, with the unconscious people.
You realize that I have to go get that, right?
I mean, I
At
didn't
1
know that you were
HP.
alive, right?
At 1 HP. I'm not going to go get that. You know that, right?
Can I use my bonus action as a fighter to replenish some hit points?
Yes, you may. So this is your encounter for the day. Tell me, what do you do? What is the like outcome of this after Ethan wakes up, Katria gets better, right? You still have to catch up with the caravan and travel the rest of the day after this encounter. Like, what do you like? First of all, what do you make of this immediate situation, and then what is the rest of your travel like?
As soon as Katria awakens, she's gonna be like, if Ethan is still unconscious, destroy that terrible thing before he wakes back up, please. Find a puddle and drown its bones.
Vlad looks you dead in the eyes and he says, "I don't know where it is," and you see a bush behind him just on fire.
I'm like, listen, if you don't want to carry my fabulous body around for another 4 hours, I think you're going to need to get that for me, because we're not leaving it behind, and I will just go pass out if I need to.
I think at this, Katria just groans and tries to will herself back into unconsciousness. Just lies on the ground.
Like,
Whoa.
I think this is the point you notice that there is like floral print on the edges and the sleeves.
Is the
So-
caravan continuing to go without us, or did they stop?
I think eventually it stops and it waits for you. Like, you are its guardians, right?
Uh-huh.
essentially, yeah.
So, can we toss the bodies and also Is anybody gonna get my cloak that isn't at 1 HP, or am I doing this and I'm gonna go unconscious again?
I'm at 2, so I'm not much better than you.
If you explain to me like how to not get damaged by it, I'll retrieve it.
Put it on.
I cannot handle the heat. I'm not as hot as you, I'm sorry.
No, like you don't understand. I know, but I'm saying you just put it on, it'll be okay. And then if you fold it, or if you just fold it out here, that's better. You're fast with your hands. Go fold the cloak, and then give it back to me. Because then if you put it on, I have to go dry clean it first. And we don't have time for that right now. Just go fold the cloak, and then give it to me, and it'll be fine.
I think Vlad would do just that.
Okay, Vlad, I'm going to need 2 things from you. The first time you enter the cloak's area, I need a DC 12 Constitution save. Palladian, go ahead and roll me D6 fire damage for Vlad to take.
Oh, that isn't the one I needed.
Why am I rolling so many in that one?
I don't know.
Fuck!
Vlad, please take
Saving it up for those
6
20s.
points of fire damage as you approach this burning bush and cloak combo, just wafting over you the flames.
Perfect.
Assuming you're still up, I want to know something. How do you fold the cloak up?
I think they didn't really explain that it has to be like inside out, right? I think he wouldn't really think about it. He would just fold it.
All right, you fold the cloak up, but it's not inside out.
He's seen me do this. Can we like make like an int check to be like he's remembers seeing me doing this like 3 times now?
Sure.
I imagine
give
you're
me an
probably
intelligence
watching him,
saving
aren't
throw.
you? It's only like 40 feet from you. Aren't you watching this? You're not like interested in inputting on your road?
Sure, intelligence, right?
Intelligence, yeah. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
God damn
Doesn't
it.
look like Vlad paid attention. Vlad, you fold this thing up. You start walking it back to him. About the time you take your first step, give me a DC 12 con save. Okay, you succeed. It's hot, but you don't take any damage.
Out.
and Vlad is like, you said fold it.
Inside out.
That is what you said. You did say fold it, though.
Yeah, I think he starts screaming at me. I kind of fold it back up.
All right. You get the message. You fold it, unfold it. It is neutered for the moment. Someone has talked about tossing the bodies.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
Can we check the pockets first? I'm gonna take their gold and letters if they have any.
Other than some heavy crossbow bolts and some broken down weapons and armor, they do have small pouches, each of them, with 15 gold coins in each of them for a grand total of 45 gold coins.
Jory, do you want to write that down? Because you're like the pack person. Or
I'll keep track of the treasure.
Oh, okay.
And we'll take the weapons. We can hold plenty of weight on the cart. We don't have time to take their armor off, but
What? No, like
We
that's
can't-
good armor, and our lovely Katarina needs protection.
I guess what kind of armor is it? Scale mail, right?
Ethan, you are not suggesting, you of all people are not suggesting I would wear that. Do you see this coat? It gives me a little protection, but it's quite lovely. It's this beautiful gray color,
Darling.
embroidered with celestial. I am not wearing that filth.
Well, you can wear that underneath.
What if
right?
I promise to give you like a fine star motif embroidery along the collar, and I'll shine the scales. It'll look gorgeous on you. You will look brilliant. Please.
Do they even have? It sounds like it's
I
not
pull out my
something.
sewing kit. I even have the silver color, the silver thread that'll go lovely with your hair, darling.
All right, I'll take a look at it. If there's any that I can bear the weight of, I can't really wear much metal stuff. I'm not very strong.
Before we get back to the card, and when they're talking, I want to pull Vlad aside, but I'll let them finish their scene. I'm sorry.
I think that was it, right? What kind of armor is it? What does it weigh? How lovely will she look in it?
She will not look very lovely in it. It is very much built for function and not for looks.
Jory will be like, "Oh, I think you look like a great dwarven fighter. I think it looks perfect."
Even with my TLC thrown, my entire heart thrown into the project.
No,
Oh.
you can dress it up as much as you want. This needs a full overhaul. It's beat up and well used too. It is a fitted, like boiled, hardened leather that has been riveted small metal discs that kind of slightly overlap around it to maintain flexibility and like the like ability to the mobility inside the armor. It is
What's the AC of it?
It
Sorry.
is AC 13 and it weighs 30 pounds.
Katria will just shake her head like, I can't. There's nothing you can do to make this look nice. Let us move on.
Sorry, it's 13 AC, but how much dex do you get? Up to 2, or is it up to any amount of dex?
Up to 2.
Up to 2. Okay.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Anybody want this? Crossbows? Something?
We'll take the crossbows and some. I mean, they're worth money to sell, right?
I mean, we have to
We can't
have
sell
like
it,
a reputation to be able to sell equipment. It's better
It's
off to
fine.
just leave
We'll
it.
take it anyway. Maybe I need to shoot something once in a while.
Sure. Wait,
Well, if I run out of
Katria,
arrows, I could use one of those. So
Do you
Katria,
have
can you
enough
wear...
weight to put in your wagon?
we have like 200 and minus whatever we've used. Actually, how many days have we used?
This would be in your like 3rd day of travel.
Okay, so we've used.
Katria, can you even wield armor?
I could upgrade to studded leather, but not to this anyway. That's what I was trying to get at through Katria's.
Oh, you can't even use it, huh? Shoot.
But yeah, I don't think she would wear it.
Okay.
As they set off though, she's definitely going to give Ethan a very politely worded but like very restrained fury a speech about diplomacy and the merits of not rushing blindly into combat and almost getting us all killed. And do you see this blood in my hair? Your hair might be a little darker than mine. It doesn't show like the dark. I look terrible. I have not looked this bad since. Just keep it in mind that flames are beautiful. Burning heretics are gorgeous, a transcendent sight. But we don't always need to jump to that first thing when we don't have like the holy army behind us to ensure that it's the heretics burning.
Oh, I understand.
Who are these?
I-
Oh my god!
I've taken
guess-
all of these sets of armors and I'm like shining all of them and I'm giving them to the laborers. Like as we go, I'm like, oh, you are the perfect person for this. And I'm
We
like,
can hold
can't
Ask
wear
them.
that and work.
148.
No.
in a place like this where we got fucking those guys in the road, you're really come on.
That's what your job is. I
Okay.
appreciate the hairstyling, I really do, but believe me, I'm exhausted enough as it is. So, the 4 of you, before you leave the campfire behind, give me perception checks all around.
At a disadvantage, right?
This would be a disadvantage for your exhaustion.
Jesus.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
Rory.
Disadvantage.
All right, Drory, you are able to notice as you're leaving, as everyone's getting ready to leave the campfire. Inside the kind of smoldering embers, there is a piece of parchment that is only half burned. Yeah, you snap that out of there. You knock off the last bits of the flames. It is a portion of a note. And it is written in thieves' cant, which, fortunately for you, is no problem to decipher. As you read the portion of the note, it seems to indicate, filling in some gaps, that there is going to be a traveling merchant with some guards coming by. The guards have been contacted. Take care of it.
It's a good thing we avoided this political intrigue.
We just nerfed these guys. That's okay. Shit happens.
Sorry, can you read the note one more time?
There will be a caravan with guards coming through here. The guards have been contacted. Take care of it. That's the portions of the note that are still legible. and try to
Yeah, so
figure it
we're the wagon's at half capacity, has 348 available of 352 it's using, so it's like half full. We can throw a bunch of stuff on top. Jory's helping do it. He pulls Vlad aside while we're doing this and making noise, and they're talking about this and that. He's gonna be like, "Hey, wanted to show you this that I found, but anyway, this is what." Now I'll pull out the other scroll. This is what I got back in the city. I show it to you, but you can't read it. I know this is anyway. You understand, or you appreciate slyness and doing things the subtle path, do you, Vlad?
I could go either way, really. I mean,
Do you know what the
slimy or not-
Midnight Consortium is?
I've heard tales of it.
Well, I got this missive from them, and I really didn't want to say anything around the trader or around the rest of our party because I don't know who to really trust with it. Who's going to want to just kill the trader? That's what this message tells us. I believe the Midnight Consortium wants him dead or is being paid to have him killed, and I think maybe on the way back he might have an accident. But I just want you to know that we're probably on the way back. It'd be the best, right?
So if he has an accident on the way back, right, before we get paid or after we get paid?
Well, we'll be getting paid, right? I nudge him. Anyway, I'll put everything away and I'll show him this other piece. But these guys were also being paid by the guild too, so this is bigger than I thought.
Do you speak the thieves' cant, Vlad?
I don't. I probably read this note and it
He
speaks
shows
about
you the
flowers.
paper. Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
says something weird like the stars at night are big and bright down in the heart of Rhymeview or something. Like,
What are you two looking at? Stars?
Oh no! We're just putting these equipment away. Give me that crossbow. Thanks, Katria. Thanks, Katria. I put the crossbow away. I slide a hand. Everything. It's all gone. And
Vlad is like thoroughly confused, right? He doesn't know what thieves' cant is, and he's like, "Is this man just telling me that he's gonna kill our boss and he's showing me poetry and stuff?" He's super confused.
I asked you about the subtle path, and I told you the Midnight Consortium too, so you know at least a little bit. There's some context here. It's not completely some context.
This begins Ethan going off on reciting poetry and inviting everybody to enjoy themselves and partake.
Katria partakes.
With that
I think we have to head back, though.
With that resolved, you take off, bouncing out of the forest over the hills, and you make your way in sight of the large, imposing tower. An enormous tower that reaches up into the skies beyond the clouds, and you kind of... The merchant makes very careful to go far around it, past not going near the lake or the plains nearby, cracking great tales to say this area is very dangerous. Don't go that way.
I was hoping to find the lady who lives in that tower I heard about.
Another time. Feel free to throw your life away. Not mine. I have things to do.
We're exhausted and we're run ragged. We need to rest, surely.
Not here.
That's
and
nice
you
to know.
begin making your way through the plain very carefully. The day goes by. The fourth day comes to an end as you're just reaching the edge of the forest on the other side. Thicker and fuller, more vibrant and green. The underbrush is heavy. The carts barely are making their way through it. You're exhausted and tired. Your eyes are dragging. Provisioner, you're caravanning. Oh no, you changed your hexes. Never mind. You're fine. As the end of the fourth day is drawing near, you are sludging your way through here, tired as can be, and you begin to hear the sounds of soft, beautiful music wafting through the trees. Your merchant boss goes, "That's it! That is where we must go! Follow that sound!" He gets very excited, leaping up.
Hey, I put hand on wait. Give us an hour. Give us half an hour. Please.
I would ask for 1 hour, if that's all right. Could we take our lunch a little early?
It's not lunchtime. The day's almost over. Come, don't worry. We'll talk to them. It'll be great. They'll clothe us, I'm sure. Come.
Hey. It's mealtime. A halfling, no halfling worth of salt has ever skipped a meal. And damn it, we're taking that out.
Like I'm like other halflings?
Yes.
He's fairly skinny.
I am not like other halflings. Now come on, we're making money, honey.
Oh, God, I love your flair, but you're such an asshole.
Bossman. I kind of show him my hands, with the singes from the robe, and I'm like, can we have like 15 minutes for Katria to patch me up a little bit? I'm protection, but I can't even draw a bow.
Also, that was the
I
third day.
suppose
We've had a full rest.
We've done the 4th day, right?
I suppose that we are one day ahead of schedule. I can put off my money-making ways for a mere hour. Be quick about it!
Quick question. Wouldn't we have had a full rest since then? Because it happened on day 3 where we had the encounters. So this is day 4. We had a full rest.
Yes. You may spend hit dice to regain any missing HP, and regain your spells and class features as per normal.
Yeah, and then we can spend that.
Your wound and your exhaustion will not have healed yet, as you've not rested in a safe place.
Ethan, I know that you have a wound, so you are not quite healthy at the moment, are you?
I am almost. I can, if given this hour rest, I will be back to where I need to be.
Okay, perfect. So
Katria,
you don't need me in the front line, right?
I'm gonna cut you guys off for a minute. Katria, what did you want?
At the beginning of the rest, before when she was asking, can we rest in a moment, I think she will try to... She's up and talking to the merchant, and she'll put a hand on his arm and try to impart her blessing of protection without consent.
Perfect. You grab him and give him some blessing. He doesn't know a thing about magic. It goes off without a hitch. With that done, you cobble off in little groups, rest, eat, mend yourselves up. And we will come... I've been playing for about 2.5 hours. It is time for us to take a break. This is the perfect spot for it. So you guys can rest, make it all come together. We'll come back from our break on the other side and see what happens to the rest of the party. I will see you all in about 5 to 10 minutes. And hello, Internet. Welcome back to Land Beyond the Mist. We just took a break as the party was resting up in preparation of meeting the Fey folk. They have just reached the edge of the forest, pushing through the deep, dark green browse. The merchant himself is excitedly jabbering on, trying to get you guys to hurry up your resting. He wants to go make some money. But you can just hear the sounds of the music and the merriment just wafting through the forests around you.
Katria would like to, having imparted her blessing, she's going to spend her lunch break sort of keeping an eye on our merchant friend and just trying to see if over the next few minutes anything seems to change, if he becomes less eager to rush onward into danger, or if it's simple greed that's been motivating him thus far.
Sure. How do you go about making that determination?
I think Katria has had a fair bit of experience as an emissary and as a priestess, so talking to a lot of people, and I think she's just sort of trying to judge how he acts, how he speaks, body language. Nothing mystical. I think she's more just falling back on her experience of dealing with people.
Sure, yeah. That seems to me like a classic insight check, to be quite honest. Why don't you go ahead and give me that insight check at, we'll call it DC 13.
Since we have disadvantage from not resting,
Yeah.
can I use my inspiration on this to make it normal?
Absolutely can, yes.
21.
All right, Katria, you've seen this type before. They're pretty easy to read. Very full of themselves, very self-confident, greedy, for sure. A little more pious than you probably expected. He seemed willing to help you out, but this doesn't seem to be anything other than a greedy merchant trying to make the best possible deal he can.
She will let her blessing lapse, being like, I have no further need of you.
All right, excellent.
You're not important anymore.
Hey guys, would you be okay if I actually took one of the heavy crossbows from the cart? For the
Sure.
time being.
We didn't bring them so that they wouldn't be of use. I mean, if it helps us,
particular reason?
I feel
Yeah,
like
okay.
shit. We need every edge we can get.
I feel like I could do a bit better with it for the time being than with this thing. I wiggle my bow in the air a bit.
Okay, sure.
How many bolts did we take? Greg, how many bolts could we
I
get
don't
from
think we
the
ever
guys?
got an exact
I don't know
number.
how many bolts did you put on your cart.
I imagine the number 18. I was thinking 6 each, but that's, I didn't actually.
Sounds like you put 18
Get a
bolts on your
number.
cart.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, you spend an hour resting up. Vlad gets a crossbow. What do you do? The sounds of the music are playing. The merchant's like, come on, we gotta go. What's the plan?
I look around. I'm like, wait a minute. Which one of you guys was the one that's actually good at talking again?
That's me, yeah.
Oh yeah, here. I toss him the music box. You know what to do.
All right, you.
Rory
toss the
goes.
music-
He actually.
Play it, Rory,
Rory
play
actually
it.
goes. I've never heard the music on it before. We're getting close to where we're supposed to be, though, right? We hear some-
Give it to them
Yeah.
as a gift if things start going bad.
All right, you're hearing this music, this like wafting through. It's getting louder, more boisterous and celebratory, and less soft and beautiful. And you make your way through the forest. The cart's creaking and bumping and getting stuck on plants and large tree roots. The forest goes dark overhead as you have entered it properly. Yeah. The sunlight is like fading behind you into sunset, and the forest is just truly dark. Eventually, it does open up in front of you, however, as the music grows to its loudest. And you see that as the forest opens up into a small clearing, there's a strange kind of tree with big yellow kind of globules growing off of the wood that gives off kind of a soft orange light. And with many of them growing all over the tree, it kind of lights up the area. And you can see in front of you this meeting place. The clearing is full of these strange looking fae folk, made almost from like the woods themselves. They have long kind of like forehead protrusions that come out almost like ears, and then very narrow face. You can see like green leaves around where like their eyes are. And they are setting up 2 large tables around a kind of like big stump upon which 4 satyrs play in like a band, this like loud music and dancing about as they do so. In the back of it, you can see these tents. They are set up and grow like behind like a wooden or a bush like that's been grown, like some kind of unnatural, almost like semi-magical growth. There is bars of gold and silver and platinum next to like large barrels of interesting, like almost. Uncertain make, like the wood itself just looks almost unnatural, bound in like not iron but like another kind of grayer wood on top of it. As you approach, this creature, this fae, kind of bows a little bit to you. She says,
Oh, Jory will do a bow as well.
Katria will curtsy deeply. Greetings, honored one.
Yeah.
welcome to our meeting place.
Jory, I guess no, he won't pull it out yet. He remembers that Ethan told him if things go bad, I guess. So yeah, he'll wait.
Yes. Welcome to our meeting place. You have arrived timely. Well, the celebration is commencing. Please eat, drink, be merry, and you shall have audience with our leader. But first, it is only proper that we break bread. Come. And he like sweeps his kind of bark-like arm in like an inviting like gesture towards one of the tables that's being set. On top of it, you can smell like roasted chicken and turkey, these like beautifully sliced fish that are like smoking. There's corn and citrus and odd fruits baking, like fresh baked bread is sitting on the table. It is very inviting as he you can see other of these like wooden fae creatures pouring big tankards of like liquor or wine or something next to these settings.
So I remembered something, and it just pinged. I distinctly recall something about eating or drinking anything that the Fae gives you, and that being a very, very bad idea.
But other legends would suggest it makes us their guests. It gives us a measure of protection under guest right. It might be more dangerous to reject such hospitality.
So we should ask if we have guest rights.
We haven't brought anything to, we have
Vlad is
nothing
like
but trade.
halfway.
The merchant
trade
like
it.
looks at the four of you and goes, "Yes, that sounds quite excellent. We'll eat and then we can do business. Come, come, come. This smells delicious." And he just starts wandering over towards the like table that he was gestured to, like, "Oh yes, I'm going to have the best time. This music
Vlad is
is
with him.
incredible, don't you know?"
My good sir, one quick question for you before we commence. We do have, you, of course, ensure that we have guest rights, correct?
The Fae kind of like moves its like weird twiggy mouth in what looks like a smile. He says, "Well, of course, you are a guest. Eat freely. This is a time of meeting, celebration."
Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. We do it. I do it.
Excellent.
By the time you get to the table, Vlad is like halfway through his corn cob.
Jory watches him eat and looks around, and we have a gift. I guess we can give the gift is what we have to offer. We intend this to be for you. It's we don't have much to offer besides trade.
The creatures like that were pouring the ale kind of just go, "We will save talk of trade or whatever may come till after." And as you like kind of line up on one table, the creatures themselves begin like moving over to the other, and will join into the kind of setting. They begin lining up to enjoy the feast themselves. A spot is left open at the end of the table, and almost seemingly purposefully or dutifully, but no one comes to fill it. They bide you sit, eat, drink, and listen to our wonderful songs.
I think rather than sitting, Katria would kind of stand half a step behind our dear merchant, as if she was some sort of courtly retainer, and sort of stand like respectfully behind him as
He's
part
like,
of his.
oh, you have got to try this. Have you seen a fruit that looks like this? I mean, it's weird, but tasty.
That's a pomegranate, sir.
Weird but tasty. Love it. How good is the food actually?
Amazing. Maybe the
Is
best
there-
food you've ever had in your life. It
Is there any meat, or is it
yes,
only like
fish,
plants and stuff?
roast
Oh.
chicken, turkey. Yeah, it's abundant. It seems to like replace itself, right, as you're eating it, either like through magic or some other means. There are like fresh baked, hot, steaming breads, rolls, strange exotic fruits, vegetables, corn. It's all wonderful.
I kind of look around the forest. Is there anybody, like, any more creatures around us, or only the ones in the middle?
Seems to be only the ones that are eating opposite you, and the satyrs, of course, dancing and playing their wonderful music.
I definitely want to enjoy the music.
I invite Katerina to dance.
Katria will very gladly accept. It has been probably like a few years at this point since he arrived in Roundview and since she's gotten to, so I'd be absolutely overjoyed to receive this offer and gladly proceed out to the front and sort of be like, I only know the courtly dances of my homeland. They're probably a little stilted for this sort of setting, but I hope they'll please.
The satyrs hear you say this, and the music kind of fades down, and then like they like roll out like almost like a piano, and you hear the like imperial waltz begin to play in perfect tune.
Ethan will, of course, go right along with it. Give her a deep courtly bow, and then play his part.
Katria, I think until this point, she's managed to maintain a sort of. I think she tries to seem very temperate and reserved, and she was standing behind the merchant, and she was sort of like, no, I'm just a detached retainer, I'm very dignified. She can't. She's completely dropped that now. She is visibly elated at getting to, like, dance to this song that reminds her so much of home again. She is completely engaged, and yeah, I think she's probably fairly good at it.
Excellent. Yes, the dance is wonderful. It goes swimmingly. You dance. You enjoy yourselves. At the end of it, the satyrs all like clap. Oh, very good, very good, very good. The tree people like grind their weird bark together and making some like kind of sound. It's probably clapping. Who knows? They're weird tree people. Excellent. As the night goes on, you eat, you drink, you're merry. Eventually, each of you starts feeling just very, like, drowsy, strange. Like, oh, just so good. And I could just go to sleep. You look over, and the merchant is like face down in a big plate of food in front of him. I want each of you to make me wisdom saving throws at disadvantage for having consumed the food and drink at DC 18.
Is
Am I
this,
Wow.
is this the charmed condition?
It is, unfortunately for you, your Fey ancestry will not abate it for you.
What?
And
When I sent my thingy when you started saying that, am I able to get my...
No, no. This has long been transpiring over the course of your dancing and your merriment and your food and your drink.
When am I gonna use it if not now? I'm gonna use my inspiration for this to roll normally.
Okay, absolutely.
Normally?
Oh crap.
That should have been a disadvantage. Oh, my bad.
No.
Katrina, you
Katrina.
see everyone falling asleep around you. In the case of Seam, I don't know, or Jesus Christ. In the case of Ethan, he doesn't so much fall asleep as he almost seems to just like go into this weird trance, as if something in the distance has just like captured his mind. And it's not quite there. You feel very drowsy. As this happens, Katria, you see a larger creature, one of these wooden fellows across the way, emerge from the tent to the far right. He waves his hands and the music stops. The satyrs dissolve as if they were never there. Gone.
Katja will curtsy deeply and to the new.
The creature looks over to you, and you can see like a tree like kind of scowl at you, and it says, "I'm surprised that one is awake. I assume you will be no problem."
I have no intention of causing you discomfort, Lord. I
Good.
suppose I've simply been
Go
subjected to
sit
many.
with your companions. We'll be done shortly. And he like wiggles his kind of fingers, and these creatures get up and they start unloading everything from the merchant's cart. Every last bit of spice and remaining food, the like secret away personal possessions, they take all of it. They go over, they look inside your cart. What is in your cart other than food and rations?
I think 2 more crossbows. The bandits were using short swords or axes. Forget what they
Maces,
were.
right?
Maces. So 3 maces. No more bolts. So there's 2 crossbows, 3 maces, and 3 sets of armor. Because I guess Ethan wanted to start stripping the guys of the armor while I was doing the rest
It
of
was
the
just
stuff.
food and rations other than that?
there's my-
Exactly.
50 feet
So
of
other
There's my
people's stuff.
tent on it. There's my tent on it as well.
Other people's
10.
stuff, yeah.
I
Okay.
got 50 feet of silk rope in there too.
They take the things made of steel. So the riveted armor, the maces, anything with steel on it. And they start putting it with the spices and things and unloading it into their own kind of tents. Catcher, you watch all of this happen. The creature smiles for a second and looks at you and says, "You've been a doll here. Since you're so willing to stand by." He like flicks a piece of his like own finger towards you. It kind of revolves through the air and you see it land like on the table right next to you. It looks almost like a large acorn, but it's made of this kind of like wrapped like twig like bark of these people, and almost like if you had taken wood origami, like not paper but like actually folded wood into an acorn. And he kind of points his fingers at his friends, and with a snap the woods disappear. You and the merchants and the like rest of your sleeping party are just like sprawled out on logs and like the dirt and the mud
Moss.
and the signs of this party and these fae folk are nowhere to be found.
I think Katja will take a quick look at the thing in her hand and quickly shove it into one of her pockets and sort of look around bewildered for a second and take sort of a few steps out from the table and look. Is there any sign of anything that was here, like where the satyrs were dancing? Are there any prints? Are there any like parts where the tent? I think having given it a few moments, she'll then quickly rush over and wake up her companion, starting with her dancing part.
Ethan is difficult to awake. It takes more than a shake and a slap, but eventually, groggily, he'll like return from the trance that he was deep within.
She is very willing to give them pokes with her hairpins.
Maybe that's what did it, yeah?
Oh, darling, I know we had a good time, but this is hardly the moment. We're in the middle of a...
I believe negotiations have taken a turn.
Damn it!
I
Where's
don't
the music box? I knew we were gonna need this.
I have their master gave me something. I'll share it with you and our other companions in a small bit, but I'm not sure I want that greedy man laying claim to it if it's all we have to show, so...
Oh shit! Is the gold gone?
Yes.
Is it all? Nothing is in the cart.
Nothing.
Nothing at all, huh?
Oh wow, they didn't trade. They just stole it all. Damn.
Indeed.
He was very large. I didn't feel comfortable trying to stop him. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll be back, and if you wake the rest of them, I'm gonna do something real quick.
Please don't let that be setting the forest on fire. And then Katya will go to wake. As she's going to leave, the merchant seemed very excited about the prospect of profit. I don't think she wants to wake him up first, so she's going to leave him with his last few sweet dreams for now and wake up her other companions.
Absolutely. All of the party awakens except this like merchant who's just face down in like a big toadstool that's like half eaten, and like there's like a big like spill of like, I don't know, mud or something like across him.
When Jory wakes up, he's gonna pickpocket the merchant.
Oh my god.
Absolutely. You don't need to roll. The merchant is zonked. You have free reign of his pockets.
Does he have anything on him?
He has very fine clothes. He has a pouch at his belt which contains 50 golden coins. He also has, not on his finger, but on like hidden inseam of his coat, a small ring of gold.
I take it all. I guess I take the bag out. Well, actually, I probably found out we got jacked right before I did this. I just want to make sure that's context at least. Besides that, I guess I'll keep the ring, but pull the bag out and be like, I guess we're splitting this 4 ways as payment for coming here and getting ripped off and dealing with all this shit.
Our agreement was that we would take a portion of the profit. As far as I see, the only profit has been... Katya will pull out her little wooden thing and put it on the table. This is all I've... That's his personal funding, no? We can't take that.
Oh,
I don't know.
Up.
He brought us out here and we got jacked. We have no food. We're heading back.
You have food.
I guess
They didn't take the food.
Oh, okay, duh. So okay, that's right. I'm sorry. They take everything. Duh, that makes more sense. I guess we have to start heading back.
Look, they took the salt we had for our personal food. It's like, no!
Katya can pull out her little vial of salt.
Was there anything else besides the gold ring and the 50 gold pieces?
I mean, he has very fine clothes. There might be like
He doesn't have like a spell focus or anything on him?
No, there might be like a merchant's ledger with like details of what was in the cart that no longer is, and like his...
I disarm him if he had a weapon too.
Nah, he didn't have a weapon. He hired you to be his weapon.
For sure. All right.
Vlad is just eyeing down Drory as he does this and kind of nodding slowly. Seems fair to me. Seems fair to me.
Don't wake
You guys
me
want to
up.
leave him here for dragging us out here for this shit?
I wish to study what's been done to him. Give me a few minutes to commune with the lights in the sky.
Well, if you want to study him, go ahead.
Katya will literally cast Detect Magic.
Yes.
His servants are there, and the wagon's empty, right? Except
Oh
for
yeah,
their
the
food.
servants were eating with you. They're all zonked too. Yeah, they're just they're gone, gonzo.
Okay.
You cast Detect Magic. Detect Magic will reveal to you that there is enchantment magic of reasonable strength at play.
And what about the acorn that I've
Oh,
placed?
most definitely. The acorn has... it is magical. I will tell you the school in a minute.
Is there magic anywhere else, like in the surrounding area?
Your cloak. The merchant's ring. The golden ring.
Ooh.
did I see Rory taking things from that? Like, would Katria have conceivably seen that was taken?
I think regardless of whether you saw it taken, there's like a glowing ring-shaped magic somewhere on Droy's person, right?
I thought about sleight of handing it, so I did sleight of hand it, so you would see it in my cloak or something, probably.
But okay, so Katria would have no reason to not know it. Rory didn't have it going into this.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then
he seemed very broke, like he didn't have it, and he did just get done looting the guy and has the bag of 50 gold and goes, "Should we split this?" So
okay,
I mean,
so she knows you're looting him, is what I was getting.
so she at least knows that much. Yeah.
Conjuration is the magic of your acorn, and transmutation is the magic of the ring.
Rory, what ring do you? How does a sailor come across something like that?
Well, you see, I have a magic ring. You'd ask me about the magic ring, maybe, right?
I think she just did.
I have this this old ring here. Yeah, I found it a long time ago. Let me throw this out there just so that you guys can see the roll. A 16 on that number right there. Yeah.
Pray tell, what does it do?
You know, I didn't realize it did anything. I found it on a pirate I killed.
Fascinating. I see. May I roll my insight against that?
Totally.
Feel free.
My bad.
He's so good at convincing. Why even roll? I mean,
Equal.
And you have the higher mod, so I think it goes to you, right?
I don't know.
meets to beat.
I'll say it is convincing enough that Katria just lets it. See, I wouldn't have expected a pirate to have such a thing. Well,
If
just
you
so
could help me
know,
figure out what it does, I mean, I don't even know if it does anything. You know, we can.
I can tell you,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
you bear a magical treasure there. My arts won't reveal what exactly it does. You'll need the conclave or the council. It's the council, not the conclave. You'll need the council for that. But I can tell you that is no mere trinket, and don't go pawning that off if you just need more gold for ale. It's something quite valuable.
All right, you'll be the first one I think of. He winks at Katria.
Ethan takes the opportunity to finally cut this merchant's hair because he's been asking about it the entire trip. He keeps saying no. He's like, well,
You cut his hair.
You give him a
It's like
nice
Sterling.
sleeping haircut, and I'm sure it's wonderful.
it really is. And then I wake him up. I put my scissors away and then immediately wake up the man.
So,
the man is gonna wake up. Not
Good meal. Oh,
We've been made!
We've been
dear.
robbed.
Oh,
They only left our food and our weapons.
where is my gold? Where am I? Where?
the gold
Where's
was
the?
in the
Ah! He just freaks out for a moment.
He touches his hair and realizes it's cut.
My hairs! They took my hair!
Yes, I saw the great Fey Lord himself take your hair and cut it straight off with a great pair of garden shears.
And he didn't even pay me! Oh, was the meal the payment? No, it couldn't be. I saw the gold bars. How did you
see? Well, what would you like us to do, employer? How would you like to get our money?
This is a great question.
They stole everything.
How
Or
good are you
stole
at killing Fey folk, huh?
Was that considered a night of good rest in a safe place?
No! That was not very safe at all, was it, huh? They took all of my things!
Well, my very presence sets
I was
Will
asking
light.
right?
So
You were the guests. It
we
would
are
be
really
wrong.
good at killing Fays. If it
Really
pays well.
good, you say?
Yeah.
I say. You kill them!
No,
and well, I think these are a little different circumstance. We didn't come out here we did come to escort you here and fro. We did not encounter here to kill the Fey folk. I think we'll have to talk about compensation for an additional task.
Well,
I think that's the point, right? He's gonna pay us to kill some face.
I have no interest in angering such mighty beings in the midst of their power, but in an enchanted forest.
That's
What
well,
is
they
it?
took
Also-
my whole cargo. Also, they have gold. I say we split it. You get half the gold. I get half the gold. Should be plenty for both.
We don't even know where these Fae are.
Well, then find them. You said you're good at killing them. I suppose that includes finding them.
I don't know. It just sounds to me like he wants us to kill them, and instead of taking all the gold, take half of it only.
How
Yes.
is this any better to the merchants we waylaid along the way? How are we any different if we just go and slaughter these folk for their
Well, they
belongings?
took it from us first. I say they're the bastards. They deserve it.
He makes a compelling argument.
I do, don't I?
I love your haircut, by the way.
I guess we can look around. How deep into the forest did we come?
You're not that deep into the forest. You're a couple of miles in at most.
Do I need to break out the hot outfit? Do I need to make myself to that level to fix the issue?
Sure,
Nobody
run
wants
down
to
the
see your
forest, see if I
birthday.
can.
Nobody wants to see your birthday outfit.
Oh, you're right. But I'll tell you, put on my second hottest outfit.
Ah, that one works.
I pull on the robe 20 feet away from everybody else.
May I say, that is hot. I'm sweating.
I'm sweating.
I get that a lot.
Okay, real talk. With this quest being over, do we go home or we go to the tower? What's happening?
Well, we return home, but let's see if starting a forest fire attracts any Fey folk or not.
I pull out my bow and ready my action to shoot at anything that moves.
While you were all having a pleasant nap, you missed their large lord. He was quite big, very covered in bark, utterly terrifying to behold. We have survived all this with our lives, and perhaps, dear Imogen, you could provide us with some compensation for keeping you alive this long, and we should return home just thankful to be alive, to have all our days ahead of us.
Well, let no
We
one
can't hear you.
say
Find
Imogen
these guys.
doesn't plan for the future. You see, I have in my They took my backup gold. Oh, God. They took my ring. Oh, these foul fey, horrid fey curses. Curses on all the fey creatures. Ah, by God. How can they be so thorough?
Hold on. Did Katria see Jory taking his gold? I think she'll give Jory a very look over his shoulder. Like,
I stand in between Katria and the guy and go, those bastards.
I agree. We should hunt them down. They have your payment. I do let no one say Imogen came unprepared. I had golden coins, but now, those, I have no words for them.
So you're saying Imogen wasn't actually prepared?
Skulljuggery.
So you're saying Imogen wasn't all that prepared, actually?
I think
Sounds like this man is on his own to get home.
No.
We travel together, why not?
Yes, see,
Katria
that man
will-
is reasonable.
In the name of your, as payment, your cart and your beast of burden, of course.
Ethan, can I
Of course
talk to you
not.
for a
No,
moment?
I could not possibly part with them.
Well, 5%. We'd have to sell it all off, and we get 5%. Eat 5%
You're
each,
not
right?
selling my beast of burden. This is my business.
Will you
I think it's 5% of the.
wait
You know,
a moment?
I guess.
And Katria will try to get Ethan, come with me.
Yeah, I walk with him. I walk with her. I take off I fold up my robe. For now. I'll bust that out in a moment. Don't try me. and I go talk to her.
Ethan was just screaming from 20 feet away at us.
While I was waking you all up, I think Jory took his money. I don't wish to cause trouble, and I don't wish to go on a whole pious rant about theft and all that, but I am distinctly uncomfortable with the theft from our traveling companion and the robbing of graves, and I would put it to you, what should we do? I mean, if he'll be destitute without his money, I mean, I don't care much if he loses a little, but I don't know what we do.
Let me talk to him.
If you would,
That's
please.
nothing now, but let's deal with the situation we have now, and then along the way back, we can deal with the grander issue of sticky fingers and where they may come from.
Thank you.
Anyway, I walk back to the group. Let's light this forest up, right? That's the plan.
You travel well behind us.
I'll give you guys a 5-minute head start. Then I'm putting the cloak on and taking an elaborate path. And we go touch all the trees along the way.
You know, while everyone's like checking their pockets, seeing what's missing, seeing what's on the cart, Vlad is gonna approach Drory and he's gonna be like, "So tonight's the night, right?"
Basically, yeah. I want to, when I'm on watch, I think he's just gonna, disappear, right? Mm.
Yeah, I was thinking you or me, but yeah, I don't want to get my hands soiled, I guess.
Oh, don't worry, bud. Don't worry.
Okay.
You have to the count of 5. 1.
Wait, let me wake up the attendants. All of them are still asleep.
Good
Maybe
point.
we should be bringing them with us.
2.
Get moving.
2.5.
We're going.
So, Ethan, do you truly intend to start a giant forest fire?
No. That would be a really terrible idea for a creature, especially with a creature that's quite literally made a magic item on the spot as a hey, here's a little flex for you. That'd be a terrible idea, and somebody even less wisdom than I would have to do something like that.
Okay.
But 2 trees is not an entire forest.
Okay, alright. So, you give the party a head start, and you set, like, some small shrubs on fire, maybe a sapling or two, and then rush off to join them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I play tag. I touch a couple of the big ones, just get a little bit, and then I go.
Rub your cloak on it.
Yeah. No, that would stain the fabric. What is wrong with you?
Alright. A small wisp of smoke trails the party in the background as Ethan catches up, huffing and puffing a little bit. The tiredness of the journey still wearing down on him. So, the party travels some distance that night. Eventually, you sleep it off. Perhaps you get out of the forest itself entirely. A couple of miles through the dead of the night, silent and just kind of trudging for the most part. Eventually, you sleep. The morning comes the next day.
I would hope that. Yeah, I think like Vlad said, it's probably for the best that night on Drory's watch, he's just gonna slit the guy's throat.
He's gonna make the pencil disappear.
And then drag him off, basically.
Drory, you get your watch. You prep your daggers.
But wait, the message did say to kill him not before we got to the Fae, right? I didn't fail the mission already, right?
You read the message again, and it seems that it says that it would be really nice if he had an accident out there somewhere and didn't make it.
Okay, cool. The accident, yeah, it's totally okay. I thought it was before I got back to town. I didn't think it was before he got to the Fae. Otherwise, I would have fucked that up.
If he had an accident out there and didn't make it.
Okay.
All right. You sneak up on him in the night, get prepping your daggers, creeping across the campground. Give me a stealth dexterity check.
22.
Disadvantage, right? Because
Does it?
exhaustion.
Oh yeah, you would be at disadvantage. Yep. For being exhausted.
23. 22.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're tired. You drag yourself through the shadows. But you're well versed in them. You know how to creep across the deck of a swaying pirate ship. This silly, landlubber has stood no chance.
Bloody work.
Yeah. You creep up on him. He doesn't even know you're there. You slit his throat. Bleeds out silently.
And I will drag him away and make sure that it's not hopefully easy to find him, but I'll be able to steer the group away from searching that spot, kind of a thing. But I want to make sure it's a spot that's easy to kind of do that to if I need to, and just to dispose of his body maybe 100 feet away from the party.
Okay. You drag that body out and maybe back into the forest. You pick up Ethan's broom, start sweeping the drag away.
Like hell you do.
No, you're right. I use some grass and I make my own broom, pretending I'm Ethan with this grass I make into a broom.
Sure.
Just full grass up in a bundle.
The fact that you thought I didn't is more insulting than the fact that you
All right.
Jory sneaks past, seeing it. You with your broom cuddled.
You awake the next morning to the frantic laborers that came with the Imogen, the merchant. They're like, he's gone. The boss is gone. Where'd he go? Did they get him? Oh, those nasty Fae! They weren't satisfied with the spices. They took his life.
No.
Must have been because he wanted us to go kill him.
Ethan is genuinely upset. He just got his looks on point.
That's
Catherine's
terrible.
tone is a lot softer than when she was mad at Ethan before about charging off with flame. She restrained fury. Since he gave her such a lovely dance in the Fey clearing, she's a lot softer. But I think she sort of goes to him and is like, these are powerful beings. This is why we shouldn't set their forest on fire. Do you see what they're capable of? I know flames are very beautiful, but we please, temperance. Okay.
Jory, she's right.
sorry.
Do you see what
You're
they're
right.
capable of?
I'm sorry, you're right.
Bastards.
I know.
Are either of the servants cute or anything? Right? I don't know. Jory's comforting one of the servants. Whoever's cutest.
A young
It turns
scrappy
out
man
that
is-
grief is not the grief and fear, perhaps not the best aphrodisiacs.
No, comforting them. This is just setting the groundwork. Don't worry. It's slow pimping, man. Slow pimping.
Gross.
Katria,
Eventually, he'll nudge Vlad and be like, "That's how legends are born." Fucking Faye.
Fucking Faye.
They've ripped us off. Those fucking bastards.
Is there anything on the
Vlad's
cards by
trying not
chance?
to
Is
laugh,
this
but he's kind of laughing.
As a side note, is there shit in the cart now? Is this Faye fuckery where it's we're gonna fucking punk your ass and then actually pay you? Did that
You
happen
look
here?
in the cart. There is not payment in the cart.
Well, damn.
Katria will
Okay, so real talk now. There's an extra beast of burden, right?
Well,
We're
And a
not-
wagon.
Stop.
and a wagon.
This
As
is
a wagon.
I know it
This is
looks
not.
grim.
This is not style. This is not heroics. This is not beauty. Stop it.
Okay.
I know it looks very grim, but are we not at least going to find him? I mean, the Fae aren't evil by their nature. Perhaps there's still
We don't
if we
have
can make
enough.
some.
I think it's best to get out of here before they get us.
If
Oh,
they,
yeah,
if they
We could look around if you want. Anyone here know how to track?
I'll do my best. I'm not very good, but poor man, I don't just want to leave him to his fate if he might still be able to do
Jory
something.
looks around when she says she could try. He's like,
I
Tries
don't know.
to
Sounds to me like we should get out of this cursed place as soon as we can.
Yeah, I think that's the best. But I mean, a few minutes for a former employer, if she can try. I mean,
I mean, we're playing with lives, right? One is already gone.
it's worth a try, right?
He
It's
might
all
not be
comforting for
gone.
some.
Here.
If they wanted
Yeah,
to
of
kill
course.
us all, they could have in the night.
I'll
They
help you
didn't-
search. I'll help
Thank
you
you.
search. And I, if you'd like to, I can take the lead on that perception check.
Or is it more investigation?
Take your pick.
It's
What do you think,
survival wisdom, unless you really go on try something else.
Greg?
Let's see. Discovering the whereabouts of the body probably is going to be perception, right? You're looking for signs. You're not investigating so much as you're like trying to see. So
I think Katria is less looking for the body and more trying to work out, like,
Jory's
Did the
slowly
thing
trying to scare them
materialize?
away from it, so maybe they have disadvantage or it
I will
equals
be
out.
looking.
Sorry.
I'll be looking for that, and I'm going to be. And if I notice, it's because I noticed the shoddy sweep job, and I'll be doing perception, if that is okay.
Thank God we're exhausted, man.
I think that you're just going to be rolling perception here. I think it's just a matter of like perception versus the like hide the body roll. Why don't we have Drory give me a just like a stealth dexterity check. You're just gonna be hiding it. This is gonna set their DC.
Do we both have disadvantage, or should we both roll straight? Because we both have wounds and everything.
You're both technically at disadvantage, so I think that's how it should be rolled.
Copy that.
Who's doing the roll? Katrina, do you want to
I thought that you said you're better at perception.
I'll
I'm
let
better.
either one of you do it. Yeah.
You can do it. I think Katria says they should investigate, but she is not actually searching the area. She's more
Good
at
odds.
the pattern of blood and the mystic foretellings of it. She's not being very helpful.
I notice a bad sweep job anywhere.
All right. Despite your best efforts to have hidden the body, it seems that Palladian has stumbled across some
Oh no!
dead merchant out in the woods.
The boss! Aw, the poor boss.
This has been
I
a
say, I take the time, and I dig a grave, and I see about having Katia do her last rites.
Shit, I've probably done silver.
I have. The Fae took all of his silver. I don't think we'd have enough between our coin purses to give him a proper last rites, but I'll say the words. I'll perform the ceremony at least for him. It's the least we can do.
We have some coins that we got previously from the bandits. You can
I
always
would
use
They're
do
them.
it.
golden. They're golden, not silver.
Oh, it has to be silver.
55 gold worth of silver.
Yeah.
Um,
So
hmm.
yeah, we did the grave. We get the last rites, and I think we head out. Yeah. We start heading back.
I think Vlad is like, oh no, how could this happen? Give me the shovel. I'll be the one to bury him.
All right, you bury him down. Party.
If he's
We're going to see if you have encounters on the way back.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think we might fast track the travel since we're nearing the end of where we might have been anyway.
Fair enough.
The dice are kind to you. You do not have encounters on the way back. So, what I want is for the four of you to describe to me what the journey back to Rhyme View is like as you make your way across the plains in front of the tower, through the hills, the forest that you came through on the way back to Rhyme View. You're exhausted, you're tired, you've been robbed, you've found some strange things along the way. Like, what is this journey like for each of you as you travel 4 days? Assuming you have the rations, right?
We have the rations.
Yeah. Okay.
We have 11 days of rations, and we've only used 4 on the way there and
Perfect.
2 on the way back so far.
Perfect. In that case, yeah, describe to me how this journey goes for each of you on the way back to Rhyme View.
I think Katria is very despondent. She's not an evil person, I don't think. And journey started out with some grave robbing, but she was sort of a little like there was something weird with that grave. There was poison clouds. There was this cryptic inscription. Like she can sort of write that off as we're not going to a churchyard and digging everyone up for scraps of coal. Something was so she can sort of justify it to herself and push on. And then the person they're meant to be protecting dies, and they start. I think she just feels like she's a complete failure. Like, she couldn't keep everyone safe. She's arguably desecrated, or definitely connected to the robbing of a grave. I think she doesn't care about the money. Like, she, I think, has a fairly nice house in town. Not actually altogether concerned with that, but she is quite upset by just feeling like she's sort of failed in her duty. She did enjoy getting to dance a lot, though. A very warm memory for her.
What is this arduous journey like for the rest of you?
Ethan will have a very uncomfortable conversation with Rory at some point.
Yes, Ethan, of course. What's going on, friend?
I get like getting paid, Rory.
Oh yeah, of course, mate. We're splitting the other coinage, right?
I will split all coins in the.
I was going to slip you 12.5 right now or whatever, slip you your portion, but we can split it all at the end.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, don't worry. I found some nice little nuggets on the ground back there with those bandits I didn't tell anyone about. I got it here.
She saw you, Rory.
Of course. I mean, I didn't really.
I know what you
that
did.
Obvious. Yeah, well.
I know. I know a bad sweep job, Rory.
A bad sweep job.
If you're going to play dirty, Rory, at least let the party know.
Well, okay,
we can. Because I assure you.
All right. Let me tell you this straight. If you really want to help take any of the credit on this and all, you might be able to get some further work with the Midnight Consortium. But if you tell anyone I told you that, you might end up with a bad sweep job. You know what I mean? But it wouldn't be me, of course. I mean, they had it out for this guy, right? He was dead no matter what we did, man. Right? It's bloody work and whatever you want to say, but he was a dead meat no matter what.
That's not true. If that were the case, you could have just left him back at the beginning. The point remains is that we're supposed to be a team. You weren't playing a team game there, Rory.
Well,
and we have
I've never met you before, and I don't know how people deal with the Midnight Consortium. I don't think we want to go tell Katria. She feels so bad. You can't do that to her.
Where's the ring, Rory? Man, before he died, said he lost the coins, which we know you took. He lost a ring. Where's the ring?
I believe that gets in the end, right? Greg, I can't actually secretly keep the ring, can I?
No, we'll split it up like the rest.
I'll show it to you, and I'll be like, I mean, we just can't just make sure Kat doesn't know. I kind of, I mean, fine lady like her, the stars and all that. When she saved me, I just saw stars, and I was just like, I don't know, but don't tell her I said that.
The Fae left it in a pouch, and we'll find it when we get back to town.
Well,
if we play like this again, I promise.
I found it on the bandits. That's why I said I found it earlier. It wasn't a lie. It was only earlier in the adventure. No one asked me if I found it on the bandits, did they? Oh yeah. Anyways, hey guys, let's
Jory, let's keep it simple. Do what you gotta do, but I promise, if we have another situation like this, where you go against what the party wants to be doing, it'll be a much more familiar body sitting out there in the mist than the halfling we left out now. And I just leaves at that.
I'll remember that, friend.
Drory will remember that. Pops up in the top right corner. All right. Vlad, what's this uncomfortable journey back home like for you?
Vlad is very conflicted, right?
Mm-hmm.
On one side, he set out on this adventure to become like a great fighter, right, and a great warrior and whatnot. But all he really did is like surf on some trees and shoot a couple of arrows, and like he singed all his eyebrows with a rope trying to retrieve it and stuff. He's not really sure what's happening. Then this dwarf, he shows him some poetry and then tells him like, we have to kill this guy, and then he does it. But
there's not exactly proof of that.
I don't have any proof, but you told me you're gonna do it, so. And at the same time,
well, you also told me to do it too, though. At the same time,
yeah, kinda. And at the same time, he met Ethan. He met Ethan, right? He kind of looks up to Ethan. You know, he saw 3 burly men, and he just ran in there like with his burning robes, just dancing around them, like falling on the ground, standing up, falling on the ground, standing up. That was an interesting view of a great fighter, if I may say so myself. And then there's the goody two-shoes Katraya. You know, he doesn't have many opinions about her, but you know, nothing really happened on this journey. He set out for a walk, and now he's coming back, essentially.
Okay. Well, with those thoughts racing through your head,
well,
yeah.
We didn't get to Drory. Despite it all, he does feel like this core of emptiness, you know, and that's kind of what makes him so bad sometimes. And he tries to not let it show. That's why he laughs a lot and makes jokes and stuff, nudges people, you know, like he did Vlad when he was like, hey, "That's how legends are born," you know. But that's because he feels this core of emptiness. He didn't think there'd be so much bloody work coming out here, but you know, and it's the captain's orders. Yar, mates. You know.
Yar. All right. With a resounding yar, the long, arduous journey, full of bumps and bruises and exhausting travel, eventually gets you back to Rhymeview. The 4 of you have separate encounters with strange men in slate gray clothes, and the little hood over the top. You never quite catch where they come from or where they go, but after they run into you, your pocket's a little fuller, and each of you have a small blood red gem, about the size of a nice die, nicely cut, worth about 50 GP each.
Katria will see if the merchant had any family or kin to pass it along to.
You ask about town for the merchant's family, but you find little in the way of family here. It seems that he was a traveler, came from across the ocean on a boat, much like many of the people here in Rhymeview. Not much in the way of people here knew much about him. He was trying to make a name for himself and hadn't quite succeeded yet.
I think she can sort of empathize with that, having come from afar herself, and she will be wandering through the docks one day and just looking to start their life.
Excellent. So, I am going to call an end to the session there. I'm going to add up some experience and some additional gold in addition to those little red rubies that you got, as well as some faction stuff. Split that up, and then we'll split up some items that you found out in the mist. While I'm doing that, if you have any shout-outs, things that you want to let the stream know before we sign off, where you'll be, where to find you, whatever else, now would be an excellent time to do that. And I am going to put my head down and do some math.
Hi guys. Well, once again, I am Palladium. I'll be playing Ethan for the hopefully near future, if I don't go down in a flame of glory. But I just want to thank Greg for putting these on and creating these wonderful magic items that I will obsessively use for the rest of time. And thanks to everybody else for playing with me. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys putting up with my antics.
Yeah, thanks for barreling in. We appreciate that. I mean, yikes.
I don't have many shoutouts per se, but I really must say I appreciated this character, and it's a shame he died. He was a very eccentric and fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you all for playing with me. I'm sorry that Katria was somewhat realistic. I didn't want to oppose everyone else, but I felt like I had to at least do a token thing because Katria would.
Well, it forces me to keep everything more secret, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to, yeah. Right? How about the Mariners? No, I'm not wearing my M's hat right now. Whatever. I'm not even sure if they're doing good or if it's baseball season, so I'm bad. It's not baseball season, is it? June?
No idea. Nobody here knows about baseball in Europe, honestly.
I guess it's not even like Japan has. It's pretty big over there.
I think so. Yeah, it's mostly Japan and the States, right? Not many other countries.
You're probably right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a few Canadian leagues, but it's probably nothing like Japan. No.
Hey guys. Oh, you ready, Greg?
I am, but go for it.
I was gonna say, guys. Okay, guys.
Another Oreo
Us
shout
here,
out.
5 levels from now, burn that forest to the ground. Who's with me?
Me. Absolutely.
As long as you never threaten me again.
Listen, I'm here to clean
You
up.
got. I'll whisper. You got one of those fucking rubies things, didn't you? Zip it. And then maybe buy me a drink, and I'll forgive you for threatening me.
Alrighty. So, in addition to your red rubies that you've received, please take home 23 gold coins each, as well as 300 experience even.
Is that enough to level 2?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's exactly enough level 2.
Yep.
Ooh, lovely.
You also have a few items that you have found out in the mists. The first thing that you found was a cloak of the Flame Walker. While wearing this cloak, you will have immunity to fire damage, and you radiate an aura of 15 feet. Anything within that aura will take d6 per your level of fire damage.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm rolling on everything, I think.
Does anybody
I don't
else
know.
want the sky blue flower embroidered robe?
I want to roll on it. I mean, it's just such a good item, no matter what.
I would love to roll for it, but I'll let you have it. Hopefully. It sounded like you really liked it.
Per your level tier, I just realized.
Oh, okay.
I said per your level, which is true. Per your level tier, so 1 through 4, 5 through 8, etc., etc.
Oh, okay. So it's every 4 levels it goes up.
So per proficiency, when proficiencies
Yes,
go up, it
as your
goes up,
proficiency
right?
goes up, you gain an additional d6. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's not like it's gonna be 2d6 now.
It's not
still
2d6 right now.
Yeah.
It's still d6.
Yeah.
It'll be 2d6 in a couple of levels.
It's still an amazing item for early on, but I still think he should have it. So he really liked it.
It's your colors more than mine. I have no interest in it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the only claimant seems to be Ethan. Ethan, it is yours.
I think Zymox wanted to roll for it.
Oh, did Zymox
Is he
roll
here?
for it?
He's frozen right now. Is he here? Are you here, Zymox?
No, he is frozen, but he did say he wanted to roll for it.
Oh, there you are.
he's back.
Okay, so D100s then, Zymox and Palladian.
Well,
Fuck.
Oh,
there you
there
go.
you go.
49.
it was meant to be.
Yep. Ethan, you have 1 cloak of the Flamewalker. The next item that you received was Fey Acorn. This is an Acorn of Summoning. You may expend it to summon 2d4 blights. You may choose vine, twig, or needle blights. Doing so will break the acorn, and it will be not usable again. It's consumable, but you may summon them under your control. Would anyone like to lay claim to this Acorn of Summoning?
I have no interest in their feral power that killed our employer.
I thought Cat
Oh,
should
if
have
you
been the
don't want
one
it, he
to-
gave it to you. You're the one who literally got it from the guy, right?
He complimented you and gave it to you. I think you should have it.
If you don't want it, I'll roll for it, but I wasn't going to roll for it if you wanted it. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I didn't earn it that at all with any damage or any wound whatsoever,
Personally, you didn't show it to Vlad anyway, so he doesn't.
Oh,
know
I
about it.
showed it to everyone when I worked
Oh,
for them.
yeah.
You should.
I guess
Cat,
they'd relent and be like, well, I won't be able to afford new armament for myself, so perhaps this will keep me safe. If you really don't mind,
Yeah.
keep it, and perhaps some good can come of their dark power.
Cat,
Yeah, their
I'm
dark
going to
power.
give you My ruby, by the way.
But you...
That is for your purchase of arms and armament to ensure your lovely place continues to exist.
But surely this is more than I spent on a... You're the fleeing red one who...
I have everything I ever want to wear now. What else do I need?
You are truly resplendent, Lord. I suppose then if you're truly willing, I will do my best to make these lands safe up my soul with this, and should you ever need anything, my estate is open.
All right. So the acorn goes to Katria.
Katria.
The last thing that you found was a merchant's ring. When
Might as well
worn, this ring gives you advantage on all charisma, persuasion, and intimidate checks when bartering or bargaining.
Charisma class should get it.
Would anyone like to take lay claim to the merchant's ring?
I'll lay claim to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really ready to roll. Whoever wants to roll.
I think Kat should get it. She's the charisma class and also the emissary.
I think Katria would like to roll on that if you don't have any strong objections. But I think she would see pretty jewelry, and that's more.
I'm charisma. I'm everything, but I am equally charisma. And anyway, so no worries. So
sounds
I'm not a
like
charisma
we're
caster,
getting a a Drory versus Katria roll off. Give me D100s. Highest.
It's just for persuasion and stuff anyway. It's something to roll for. Oh well, no way! You rolled under 16, Cat.
The ring is yours, Drory. And with that, we are ending our session here. Thank you all for playing with me. I hope you have enjoyed it. Chat, I hope that you have enjoyed our evening out in the mist. It was a fun session. I will probably not be streaming much tomorrow. I'll be back around sometime. We've got another one of these coming in a week. I hope to see you there. If not, have a great rest of your day, night, week, whatever.
What about the faction thing? You said you were calculating faction things?
Yes, factions. I want you each to take -5. Rep you with the Whitewater Merchant Guild. And each of you will gain 3 reputation with the Midnight Consortium.
That's why we don't kill people.
Oh wow, -5 plus 3. We didn't even go even in numbers.
Alrighty. With that,
And it was how much XP? Sorry, 301.
300.
300. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, night, week, whatever. So I see you again. We'll catch you next time. Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.